evening, folks. It is not Friday, and this is not the expo. This is not live from the expo either.
No.
Eric, you got the rolling truck of Manila rolling into expo. What's going on over there?
Um, yeah, we're working our way north. We should get there by November.
I kind of figured that. Yeah. So this time around, I am taking advantage of my test retirement, which means I do have to be a little responsible. Otherwise, I'd be hopping over. Although folks in expo right now should be doing the VIP night, so that's going to be tonight. We already know, and I'll chat with them later if I can share some of the pictures for later on. We already know that Mr. Bobby Burrell, the Burrell, is out there taking pictures with the hobby luminaries. We've seen that. We've seen that. Not one but two Jeremys. That's all I'm saying. Not one but two. So
He's
there's
rounding.
one too many Jeremys involved in this. Is all I'm saying. But he's out there taking pictures with them. So
Yeah, he's
there you go.
rounding them all up.
Absolutely. So now you know. It's like you should be over there by now. Boss is looking for you. Boss man's looking for you. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. When that picture came through today, I was just like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh no, no, he's not kidding. VIP night, especially when you're there ahead of VIP night, you got more time. You can literally walk around, and that's when everybody's setting
Right.
up, and you can chat with them a little bit. I know
Yeah.
you went there in the fall one. You guys were there super early, even
Oh yeah.
before as people were setting up. Now, mind you, that's also time that a lot of the dealers do business, right? So, like, if you're doing dealer to dealer, that's a way better time for them while they're setting up. It's like, oh, do you have some of this? It's like, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, hold on, let me grab it in the box. Boom, boom. Some of them are already making money before the show even starts.
Two years in a row, the majority of my lists were already checked off before the show opened.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And like I've never tried to partake in that. That's never been something I've concerned myself. But mind you, as the years go by, it becomes less of a concern for me to like track down a lot of the cards because some of the stuff I'm looking for is more obscure anyway. So it's not like people are going to pick it off. I almost always find it if I'm looking for it. But if you are looking for certain things or you know certain folks and want to do some arrangements, yeah, you could. That it makes total. If you get a dealer badge, go early. Get while the setup's happening. Walk in. The stuff's already laid out. You have more time to work out a deal. You can work a package deal if you have that luxury. It's a nice one to have. I do have advantage that I will be able to get a dealer pass. I do have that, but yeah, I just didn't have the scheduling time. But I am preparing. I've already started packing up stuff. I've got building up a box for ComC. So we got about 100 cards or so. I might grab a couple more, but that's going to go over to ComC. I'll probably grab, and I've got the stuff that needs to get reholder for PSA. We got that. So basically, I'm putting the piles of stuff all together, boxing everything up so that when I walk over, I already got it. So, other thing, we're going to just hang out a little bit tonight. I know it's impromptu, so those of you who are around, good evening, and thank you for joining in. Uh, Part of the reason for it is that tomorrow I'll be kind of en route over the expo, and also Dallas and Boston ended up on the same cycle of playoffs, so it makes it a hell of a lot easier, honestly, to just basically do it in this mid cycle because tomorrow I'll be out there having dinner. Friday ends a little bit later, have dinner, and then probably I'll be watching the game. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna manipulate all that because obviously I'm a huge Bruins fan and looking forward to tomorrow night's game because last night's game was probably the worst professional hockey game I've ever watched in my life. Now it's not just because the Bruins lost,
Yeah,
because
and also you clearly didn't watch the first Leafs game
oh
because
no, I
that
did,
was really that was pretty bad.
I did, and I definitely texted a few people making fun of the Leafs,
Mm.
but the Boston Bruins could not get out of their zone, could not enter the other zone. They were worse when they had a power play. I mean, it was the worst professional hockey game I have ever watched, and everyone that I've spoken to today is absolutely disgusted. Um, without I'm not gonna name drop, but was able to get word to a current Bruin, and he said that we needed to get, quote unquote, we needed to get our asses kicked. So and said that they will be ready for tomorrow's game.
I see. And do you feel that that happens sufficiently?
Oh, the ass kicking.
Mm.
Oh, it was yes, it was done very well. It was done quite well in a very embarrassing public way. Just absolutely horrific professional hockey game yesterday.
I see. I see.
And again,
Well,
it's not because I don't say this just because they lost. Teams lose. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. If they just went 16-0 and won the Stanley Cup, that'd be actually kind of boring, right? So, but to lose in such a horrific, effortless, just horrible execution way, it was just embarrassing.
awful. Just awful. And also, they failed in my prediction, my very sincere prediction about the Boston Bruins winning the Stanley Cup. So you realize that I fully intend to take credit when they are victorious. So hopefully,
Oh,
this is adversity they can overcome. Very important, because again, already they're on the verge of failing me, and that's very disappointing, very disappointing.
well,
Shameful, utterly disgraceful.
I will get word to the team and let them know that they are not to let you down.
Absolutely, it's the least they can do. About time some Boston does something good for us. About time. Uh, so in that vein, since we're doing the Thursday, I did get, and I'll show a couple of cards that I picked up as far as mail, and people can catch on a replay. I didn't bother to advertise it too much. I did get a box of the 2023 Big League, so I'll open up a couple packs of that. Probably not going to happen too much, and I know it's playoff time. I know folks are watching the game, so and anybody in the Toronto area, good luck. let us know how it turns out.
Well,
I'll scan the score, but I'm not honestly. I don't care. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it.
Toronto is actually winning 1-0 at the moment.
I would expect them to rebound. Yeah, generally speaking, it would make sense for them to rebound on this.
I have no hope for them. But,
There you go. So James is first comment here. Good evening, James. More public floggings are coming. Wait till the Leafs drop it again. Yeah, well, right. Look, Tampa Bay has very much had their. It's one of those teams, in addition to Boston, in addition to basically everybody they play in the playoffs, has had their number. Everybody. I want to say. So one of the local guys who does a lot of the post-game Leaf stuff and became basically famous for it on YouTube, Steve Dangle. He does a lot of the post-game stuff, and it becomes very. He even wrote a book on it, and the book was "This Team Is Ruining My Life." Speaking of the Leafs, and part of being animated and ridiculous, he's a super fan for that stuff. But that's part of the shtick. But it's not so much a shtick because he's psychotic, but entertainingly so. But the thing is that. He does the game watches, the watch-alongs, because the local cable conglomerate Sportsnet, because they have the NHL rights, they can even do a watch-along. So you can actually watch the NHL game with him on it. So he's on there, and then they've got it on the screen, the game, and he's not exactly doing play-by-play, but he's kind of commenting and interacting with the chat while the game is happening. So you actually have a watch-along that is licensed by the NHL, and you can literally watch the game. If you don't have access to the game and you got YouTube, you can literally watch the game.
Oh, that's cool. No, I wish more stuff like that was allowed, because I've watched a few different watch-alongs like that, and the person who's usually entertaining is somewhat, they're watching it, in front of them, but the camera that we see is watching the guy.
Yeah, so I'm not going to obviously play it for obvious reasons, but
Right.
I'll show a still image just so that just so we can make the point across. Folks in Toronto know this anyway, but here, so you can see he's on the left, and the game is literally happening on the right.
No, that's fantastic.
I'm obviously, and then you got the chat over in the side. So I'm obviously not going to play that. The YouTube content gods are very, very stringent on this, but you get the gist. You literally can see that if I hit play, you can literally be watching the play and what's happening during this game.
I believe within 10 minutes, the NHL police will be knocking on your door.
Yeah. So that's why I tried to be, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to play this, but it is happening. So I will say a lot of the greater Toronto area, of which I am a part of, is got that game on right now. I can pretty much assure of that. But anyway, like I said, more than anything is just hanging out, having a little bit of fun. I did have two things that came in this week. One of them I did show off on Instagram already. So we got the Future Watch acetate cards. Crowd pleaser, I must say, on the old Instagram. A lot of people like the acetate card. Very nice. They are very nice cards. And being acetate, they're very thin. Very, very thin. But cool cards. That's what I said about this product. There are cool cards in it. I think it's overpriced for what it is, but I think this card and the cards like it are very cool. I'm a fan of the design and the setup and everything. I think it's a cool idea. Also, kind of a side thing, kudos to the seller. So for that Marc-Andre Fleury lot that I bought, it was short 2 of the autographs. So I did reach out to them just to say, hey, these weren't in there. They were very, very apologetic. They were like, oh, sorry about that. I'll get them out to you. And I got them. So I got him in, and so now I've got Tomorutu, so to add to
Okay.
the ones I had previously, and Eric Stahl, which is not a bad one.
Oh no, not bad at all.
Yeah. So at this point, this is like bonus for me, but I thought it was I thought it great, and I gave him his positive feedback. I appreciated the extra effort. Cool. So
Sure, mistakes do happen. It's how those mistakes are handled is what really makes an eBayer.
yeah, quick response, and took care of it right away. Got the stuff in the mail, no problem. So
Yeah.
so no problem leaving the positive feedback. Cole Hamels fan, good evening, sir. Love the Future Watch. Singles a good way to go with that product. Agreed. 100%. Yeah. There's some good singles in it, and if you chase after those, I think you'll be happy. It's a nice enough product. There's some nice inserts and different versions of the set. It's just like I said, by the box is where I couldn't get behind it. Now speaking of which, we'll see how it plays out. SP Authentic, the people, the natives are restless, Eric. They don't seem pleased. I've been watching some breaks, and not too many people are impressed. And old Ziri, man, Ziri is like he rides the roller coaster of either is he really high on a product, and he loves SP Authentic, and he seemed a little down on the SP Authentic this time around. Apparently, Upper Deck is swinging and missing on a couple of these products.
Yeah, SP Authentic's always been a great product.
It's one of the staples.
It's always just so clean looking. One of my all-time favorites. I forget what year. I'm sorry, but it's mostly white. I could pull one out, but I just think it's one of the cleanest looking ones.
A lot of it is going to depend on the rookie crop. One of the ones that I liked the most was 3-4, and that was the Marc-Andre Fleury rookie year. Good evening, Orlando. There were a lot of different years where they had a similar design. They used the white space pretty well on those.
Yeah, I mean, I had Ray sign this last time he.
So I want to say that one was one of the late '90s ones, or early 2000s ones.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
on the back. If you look on the back there, it'll say either at the bottom or the last year's stats. We'll tell you what you need to know.
Of course, I don't have my glasses on, but I think it's 99 2000.
Yeah, so it'd be somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, I remember it's late '90s, early 2000s because I recognize that design.
Yeah, I just think the SP is always a great product. They always do a good job with it.
Yeah, the Future Watch was always a big crowd pleaser. The Sign of the Times is always a big one that a lot of people like.
Which I've shown this card many times. I got this in November. This was my big get, but I personally think this is why I went up there hunting for it when I could have, got any comparable one. I wanted a Gretzky auto. In my mind, this is the greatest, nicest looking, best Gretzky auto card to ever been made. It's now, of course, that's just an opinion.
And this is 98.99, the one you're about to show.
And that is the one I got,
Yep.
which is SP Authentic.
Yep.
He's got the white Rangers Liberty jersey. The autograph is absolutely perfect because some of his are a little more rushed or at an angle or but it's it's just perfect, and I'm glad I spent the money on it. The only one that would be quote better is the gold version of this, which I don't really need to spend it an extra few $100s to get the gold version.
Oh, it's not going to be a few extra $100.
No, that one
a little more than that.
That one's just fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Good evening, Dave. So let me do first. Good evening, Stuke, and then good evening, Dave. I did get a chance to check out your last live on replay. Good job, guys. I appreciate the effort out there. Caught up watching a lot of the hockey, so I think you'll appreciate that, Dave. Panthers goalie was a wall last night when they beat the Bruins. He did well.
He was very good. The Panthers were very good. The Bruins were absolutely horrible.
Well, actually, speaking of which, I was looking it up. Isn't Eric Stahl playing for the Panthers now?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was looking it up. I wasn't sure if he was still playing, and actually he's still playing, and I think he's playing for the Panthers.
I think there's two Stahl brothers playing for them.
Yeah. Which and Eric Stahl's actually had a pretty good career. Very impressive. All things, he's one of those guys who's going to be in the Hall very good. 1,000 points, 400 and almost 450 goals, very good. He's not going to go to Hall of Fame for that, but again, when you look at those rookie classes, you never know what anybody's going to do. A lot of those players can have a cup of coffee, be well, and you never know. But they're still fan favorites. Like in Carolina, he still had the one Stanley Cup. So he did win a Stanley Cup with Carolina. So obviously he's going to have a lot of memories for that franchise back then. And the same thing kind of happened with Dustin Brown, who was part of that list too. So basically, as a result of that, he had two cups. But at the same time, like overall career wise, he's not a Hall of Fame guy. But for the LA Kings, he was a lifelong LA King. So nothing wrong with that. Getting a big Scott. I think it's just going to be the one night this week. We'll see. If I've got a little time and energy, maybe I'll do something on Sunday. But you guys have pretty much got the Sunday thing sewn up. So this one is in lieu of the Friday episode, since I'll be at Expo hanging out, having dinner. And then also I'll be watching the hockey game after. And Eric, by that point, might be cursing the Bruins. We don't know. We'll have to see.
If they play as poorly as they did yesterday, all this stuff behind me might get torn down.
Good evening, Alan. Hello from San Diego. Happy Fernando Tatis Jr. Day. Look at you. Look at you. There you go. Also, happy 420. I was out and about, and some people were celebrating. I could tell.
I believe that's happening worldwide, unfortunately. But teach
Yep.
their own.
Yep. I was out basically doing my errands. Literally just out doing my errands, going to the bank, grabbing some money, dropping off a couple of eBay packages and doing all that. It's like, yep, I can tell it's 420. You didn't have to tell me. I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell. Some video of the expo. That's the plan. Got the got the batteries in the camera charging up. I'll try to get a little bit in there here and there as I go along. All right. So we're hanging out and chatting. So I'll include a couple of things that we can talk about a little bit here. Like I said, it's never really a formal show. Let me be fair about it. It's never really a formal show. But usually I got a couple of topics. In this case, I did grab one though. I saw for Heritage Auctions, Eric, I saw something that you might need to bid on.
Oh God.
Oh yes, I think this is something you need.
I need.
Okay.
If I need it, let's get it.
Heritage Auctions, man. Here it is. Okay. NWA Tag Team Championships, circa late 1970s. Yes, right here from the old NWA. They found the title, one of the title belts for the Tag Team Championships. It's so random. I love it. And I appreciate the ornateness of the design of this belt. It's very late 70s though. You can sense the late 70s-ness coming off this belt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got, I see like a turquoise in the front part, and
you got a couple of things going on the plate, and then you've also got the different parts of it. Like, check it out. You got these plates here to represent. It's NWA, so it's it's worldwide. You got Japan, you got England, Israel. That is a uniquely specific combination. And then on the other side, you got Canada, France, and Italy. I'm not sure why you specifically chose those 6 for the plates, but here we are.
I don't know.
And then you got the eagle in the middle, so there you go.
Because there's no way they had the money to go anywhere besides the United States and Canada.
NWA.
There's no way the NWA in 1978 had the money to fly rings and equipment and talent and everything to Italy.
Well, I don't know. In the late 70s, the NWA was still a legitimate power because the WWE hadn't risen yet. They were still the WWE, and they were still operating. I'm pretty confident they had some international shows.
Oh, I can't imagine that they would have had.
Because in the 70s, the NWA still had some cachet. Because, like I said, WCW wasn't until later. WWE, Vince McMahon didn't take over until the early 80s. So basically, it wasn't. The NWA still had some legs left at that stage, so they could still do stadium shows. They could still run decent sized shows. I'd have to go look at it, but I'm fairly confident they ran some stuff in the 70s, and they still had a little legs left in the tank, a little gas left in the tank.
I just don't see how they would have had the money to ship an entire, setup anywhere. It was just different back then. I just don't see where they had the money. But
you go and build it from scratch. You chop down a tree, you start building a ring, and you just do it over there.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously,
these guys were driving themselves to shows, and put 4 giant men in a small Toyota.
And you don't actually pay the talent. You use the equipment. You build the ring.
Yeah. So I just don't see it. But anything's possible, I guess.
There you go. That's the spirit. So there we go. Staggy Joel, good evening. Absolutely. All right, so real quick, I'll talk about this one briefly because I just thought it's funny, and I'll include a link to it. Like I said, in lieu of a regular show, I'll include this in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to. Our good buddy Geoff Wilson was having some fun. Poking the Pokemon people. He's poking the Pokies. I don't know, man. Like it's a bold move. I don't know about that one.
Most people are crazy. You don't want to mess with them.
They're very, very passionate. I don't know if you want to be taking them on with the Pikachus and the Charizards and the whole thing. I don't know. However, I will throw in that I think it's not only intentional. I do think it is calculated. Let me put it that way. I think it's calculated, and I'll add why. But like I said, I'll also leave you a link to something that you guys can check out. So I'll explain it, but also show this. So basically, he did a video. One of his Geoff Wilson show thing, whatever. And he'll say a lot of stuff, but a lot of times he'll say something knowing he can provoke a reaction. And specifically this one, he was basically poking at the Pokemon thing in trying to propel and prop up Disney in Lorcana specifically. And the thing is, Disney, obviously, the entire live stream, not live stream, the entire show was basically saying his entire argument was Disney is very popular, which I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks for telling us. We would never have figured that one out on our own. But the way he was presenting it, in kind of contrasting it to Pokemon, was like, okay, this is pure bait. Pure, like, not even. But the thing I started thinking about is like, okay, so why? Because the Lorcana thing he was talking about isn't even coming out until the fall or late summer, fall. So I'm like, do you have an allocation? Or do you have some kind of a deal where it's going to be coming up when that shows up? Are you going to be, is Sports Card Investor going to have a little bit of a advertising angle when a Lorcana comes out? Because I'm like, otherwise this seems kind of random. Specifically just lobbing a grenade over at the Pokemon people, knowing they're going to react. And they will. And they did. But I'm like, that seems calculated. Seems calculated, sir. Yeah, so I'll describe a little bit of it. Yeah, no, pure clickbait. Now I'll say, I'll see if I can find it. I'll include a link to the original for whatever reason you want to sit there and listen to it. But really, the entire argument is that Disney's popular. That was his entire argument for the whole thing. I'm like,
I never
okay,
knew
that's not a particularly. But here's the thing, though. It's not a particularly compelling argument because it's a pretty standard argument. It's like, yeah, okay, it's popular. That doesn't translate into people buying cards. Like something can be popular and people don't give a crap about cards. Like they're two different audiences. You can have some overlap, but it's not automatic. Thing popular, sell cards. Not always. Sometimes, but not always. So real quick. Yep, he's troll fishing. 100%. 100%. But I did enjoy some of the retorts. Some of the retorts amused me. I got a kick out of those.
Pokemon people.
Absolutely.
Because them Pokemans, they're no joke.
Once you get their dander up, they will shake their fist in ways that only Bougie Eric can appreciate. That's all I'm saying. There will be some fist shaking.
When they start leaving their parents' basement, man, watch out.
Say, be careful. Those Pokey people will find you.
I know. I
Settle down. Watch out.
No.
Bobbles, if you're good, just give me a thumbs up whenever you're good. So Paul here says, I'm all for niche stuff getting popular, but thinking some ultra modern Prism Disney stuff automatically is going to be collected long term is laughable. Now, this is actually something that I maybe would be worthwhile and something I'll look into for later. I don't have it set up for tonight. And I was going to reach out actually, but I didn't have time. Obviously, this week I'm a little occupied. I would love to hear Jay's thoughts on this. You know, good old Jay, because he does a lot of the non-sport, including like OG Disney stuff. I think he would have a good angle on this, like a real perspective to be able to offer to. I generally don't think it's going to matter. Like, I do think there will be a market for it. I think some people will be interested in it, but it's, again, I think it's self-serving. I think good old Geoff was looking to get a reaction and he got it, which is the bottom line to the whole thing. But again, I'll include a link to this just because the reaction to it was funny. I enjoyed it. And specifically, I'll link you guys to this channel here, Oposseum Bud. He had 2 different videos kind of making fun of good old Geoff about it. So I had a lot of fun with it. See, Eric, your people.
Is it off the screen?
What, do you want to see more Pokemans?
No.
He's got a lot of Pokemans.
He has too many Pokemans.
He has a lot of Pokemans.
He is
not appreciating the Pokemans.
He is the full of the Pokemans.
This is very sad.
You should get some Pokemans.
I think you should get some Pokemans.
My daughter has some of them Pokemans.
Listen, I only care for one Pokemans, just one. The Chief Stringamon.
Yeah, right.
And on PSA Canada, again, obviously Thursday, we're not having a PSA Canada show tonight, you know. Eric and, Brad and the folks are over right now as we speak. They're sitting there probably receiving submissions of Pokemans.
They're
Probably as we
probably
speak.
buying all of them.
That could very well be the case too. Yes, absolutely. Because a lot of the team members, some of them have it, but it's like I want the cheese stringamon. I want it. It's like because it's so stupid. It's glorious.
Yes.
I must have it.
Must.
Yes. Hey Carlos, I couldn't find the cheese stringamon. That's not actually what it's called. That is what I have decided to call it. I don't know what it's called, and I don't care. It's a cheese stringamon. Not as laughable as hitting the like button, but laughable. Ted DiBiase laughs. That's right, sir. Getting Baz, how's the expo? Couldn't tell you yet, buddy. I will reach out to some folks and I'll get some answers from them. But I will be able to tell you more after tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be there. Bubbles! That's right. Captain Lou Albano grimaces. Facts. But does he have a G Stringamon? That might be a different kind of collectible card game. Speaking of expos, Bubbles attended the first World Exposition in San Francisco in 1923 after serving in World War I. Well, that was years after World War I. We got listen, as a history major, I demand historical accuracy. So what was he doing after 1919 until 1923? Bobbles, were you wandering the wilderness for 4 years? What were you doing over there?
I was working on my empire back then. It all started long ago.
That's important. As long as you got some build up by vampire. I appreciate that. So, Mr. Bobbles, how are you this evening?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah. Coming off the high of the Dallas win?
Man, that was a hell of... we were in the Discord. The game one was a hell of a game. Mm-hmm. But I have realized, I even text Eric, watching playoff hockey is great, period.
Yeah, sure.
But watching playoff hockey when you are actually invested in it as a fan and rooting for your team, that is a different level.
Yeah.
Because game one, they played amazing. Staying up till 2 a.m. sucked, especially to see the loss.
Eric, in the Discord, I had so much fun. Both Wes and Bobbles. Rookies, first time. I remember the 1999 triple overtime game. There was no foot in the crease. That was never a thing. Triple overtime, the Hockeys.
I watched playoff hockey
Sorry,
before,
Buffalo.
but never as a fan of a team.
1990, the Hockeys and Peter Klima at 3 a.m.
He's not that he's bitter or anything. Where's Paul?
It was a great game. First period sucked. Like they came out like crap, and then they started playing great. The hit happened. That sucked. But it was good to see them get that fire in them. It just was. How in the hell do you? What was it? 9 seconds total on the power plays when they got the 2 goals. Like that's how long. I think it was 3 seconds and 6 seconds or something like that on the power plays.
Yeah.
But they could not score if there was 5-on-5. And they had so many opportunities. The puck it was like 2 magnets with the same, polarity. And they were just, the net was pushing the freaking puck away because they had so many opportunities and it just would not go in.
Yep. Well, Eric, that's why I got to do the whole first time thing. Like when we was going to double, I've been down this. I've said now the advantage of it is that I'm not as invested in this. In the late 90s and early 2000s, I was invested. Like I was on every single. But I've gotten a chance to see the team win the cup. I got the chance to see them win the cup in triple overtime and all that nonsense. So I've got a chance to see victory and defeat because they won and then they lost the cup in 6 games to New Jersey the following year. So I got to watch a window of contention where that team was in the mix in the Western Conference, and that Western Conference was tough. Detroit was still in the Western Conference at that time. You had Steve Yzerman, and that team was stacked. You had Colorado with Waugh, Forsberg, and Sakic. That team was stacked, and they were bludgeoning each other. I watched the Western Conference was basically the Stanley Cup final because you were fighting these teams to get, and whoever you played in the East, unless it was New Jersey, who was the only one who could really hang, unless it was New Jersey, whoever came out of the West won a good chunk of the time. It was a very different era, though. Today, it's a little bit more, I think it's more even. I think it's honestly more interesting in that sense, but I'm not as invested in it as I once was, but I can still enjoy it. It's fun for me.
I did watch the series last year, so I can't say this is my first year, but I feel more passionate about it this year.
Sure.
Like last year, I didn't expect them to win. I think they were the underdog to begin with. They did stretch it out to game 7. Ottinger had the hell of a game, And that's the biggest thing, I think. Like, I have no, like, whether they win or lose, I'm just a fan, right?
Yeah.
But you almost feel bad for Ottinger because the last playoff game, game 7 last year, he has that amazing freaking game and he loses.
Mhm.
And then game 1, he has this amazing freaking game and they lose.
Mhm.
I think what did they say last night? It was since 55 or something like that, he has the most saves combined in back-to-back losses, something like that.
It'd be up there with a record like that. I will say though, I did remember the run that they went in during the bubble when they got to the final and played against Tampa. That was one of the Tampa Stanley Cups there, um, and that one was interesting because it was unexpected. But it was a little bit frustrating because it's like these opportunities don't grow on trees, and they managed to basically random their way into a cup final. They had no business being in. I was shocked that they were even in it. I would love to have had Ottinger for that playoff series because it was so frustrating. It was the opposite. They were getting timely goals. They were getting like just enough because that team had no business being in that position, and they were doing it despite the goaltending, not because of the goal, despite the goaltending. And I was like, if I had even a competent goaltender in that cup final, I think they got a shot. They could have just stolen a Stanley Cup there in the middle of the bubble. It would have been crazy. Timeless Cardboard, good evening. I'm in Minnesota. We have the largest card show coming up on this weekend with 300 tables sold going tomorrow. Looking for those Medina 101s. Love it. Love it. Is the Minnesota show bigger than the Expo? It is not. But 300 tables is a big show. I think the Expo right now is at about 500 or 600, give or take. It's a pretty big show. Outside of the National, it's probably still the second biggest show. Dallas had a run there where it was close, like in terms of tables and everything, but Expo's big. You can kind of testify to this, Eric. It's a really big show.
I cannot. I get there Thursday. While everyone's setting up and looking for all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Unlike you, because you're in bed. I'm there from the time it opens to the time they throw us out, and I can't get through all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that's fair. So now you know, Bobbles, we got to get you up here, man. Got to set it up, make it happen.
Well, the missus, she actually said, she's like, Carlos got his days mixed up. Today's Thursday, and I was like, yeah, it's Expo weekend. And she's like, you got to get your passport to, so you can get up there. And I was like, well, there's a show in the fall too, so we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Hagagi 99, good evening. Carlos, you and Kevin should break down SCI's comments regarding Pokemon and Disney. Well, I actually, what's funny, so the SCI part of it, like I said, I think it's self-serving. I don't know what it is exactly. I think there's something. The fix is in. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'll keep an eye on old Geoff because there's something he's leaving out in this. You don't randomly provoke the Pokies. You do not randomly just decide today is the day I'm going to incur the wrath of the Pokies. Don't make me show a possum guy with his Pokies in the background. They're a passionate bunch. They're a passionate bunch. You do not randomly provoke them. Unless you have something in mind. I don't know what it is, but I would not be shocked if in a couple of months, Sports Card Investor is teamed up with Disney and Lorcana. Aha! So I'm waiting to see what it is because it would not shock me if there was something involved in that. It doesn't feel like an accident because it was so random. It was so out of left field. Like literally, you could have this conversation in a couple of months. If you're really desperate to have this, wouldn't you wait until the thing's actually coming out? Make one of your ridiculous predictions. Why are you doing it this far out? The timing is what's interesting to me.
So here's a question.
Go ahead.
Do you think he did what he did with Select on Disney? How much did he spend on the Select cases or whatever?
Wasn't it like $500,000 or something? Something crazy?
I thought it was $250,000, but I didn't
so
know.
It's a lot of money. Regardless, a lot of money.
So do you think it was that, or do you think he knows somebody? And I'm sure, like, one of the larger, more famous people like Aoki or somebody like that is probably dipped in with this. Do you think maybe they slipped him a little fee fund to say, hey, go out there and talk about this stuff?
Here's
They're not going to expect that.
Anything is possible. I could totally see it, but the problem is the product doesn't exist yet. The product is literally months away. Like there is no product. So even if you want to shill a product, there is no product. We know it's
coming. That sounds like pre-order territory.
Yeah, like we know a product is going to happen, but it's like, what's the point of pumping a product that doesn't exist today? You can't get it. You're not getting one. He's
Topps
not
must
today.
have paid him good for that influencer card.
I guess so. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's the timing to me is weird because you're looking at it in proportion of the timing, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll find out. Again, we'll have time. We'll take a chance. As far as that's concerned, though, I would like to get Kevin's take because he is one of the guys who deals in a lot in the Pokemon stuff, and like he can speak to that market because he receives a lot of cards that get submitted for grading, and and PSA announced that they're doing a TCG price that I think is going to be their TCG price going forward. And here's the thing: that's because half of the submissions they get are TCG, and a big chunk of that is Pokemon. That right there is a big chunk of what we're talking about. Like it's huge.
Hell with a PSA price. SGC is creating a TCG exclusive Instagram account. They put it up today. They're doing a giveaway. It's
I
going to
did hear
be-
about this, and I am not. I can listen. Even in the vein of being as fair as I can, you doing an Instagram account as a big deal. It sounds very Beckett-y to me. Who gives a fuck? You did an Instagram account. Good for you. You figure out how to create one.
I'm honestly wondering, since they do have the Pokemon special going on, if they're not trying to split the two so they can do, like, you know, they show a lot of sports cards, and obviously there's a lot of sports cards to show, but they only pretty much make one post a day. So maybe having both accounts can allow them to mix in the TCG posts.
Absolutely. I think this is referring to. Let me see. I was trying to figure out which part this was here. Not sure, Paul. I think I missed it out. Sorry, that was about 4 or 5 minutes ago, and I missed that one. So good evening, Michael Ham. Absolutely. I think SCI took a portion of the idea from the reserved investments channel. Anything's possible, man. Reserved investments. I'm a big fan of Sean's work. I do appreciate it, and he's got some good book recommendations. I would say if any of you do watch that channel, check out some of the book recommendations he's made. I've read some of those books. They're actually quite good. Maybe so only for the copious amounts of clicks. Yeah, could be. Like I said, though, if you just want clickbait, though, you could have done the same video in like 3 or 4 months, and you would have gotten almost the same thing. You would have gotten the response from the Pokies people. I just feel like like this far in advance, it's like you're laying the groundwork for something later on. That's the part I'm wondering about. Again, based on nothing more than it just seems interesting timing when there's nothing imminent. We know it will come, but I think it's August. So like even after the national. So it's like we're not even there yet. So it feels like a lot of time between now and then to do something. Eric says he goes from show opening until he gets thrown out. Nice. Okay, gotcha, Paul. Thank you for clarifying. Didn't someone pulls out the restraining order? That's right. So speaking of good old Geoff, so while we're chatting, Bobbles, I think it's time I started opening some packs of 2023 Topps Big League.
Uh-oh.
I know. So just what we're hanging out.
While you crack the box, and speaking of Big League, we opened some during Chantilly with James Gillum. Okay. I don't know if he's watching or not. I know he pops one sometimes. And I want to give a huge shout out to him. I've told y'all he's like family to me. He comes down, stays with us, goes to Chantilly. And I randomly got a card in the mail. And it's a Cup Future Foundation Quad Relic.
Oh, nice.
Ottinger.
Yep.
And I texted him and I was like, hey, I got a card from you. I didn't know you were collecting hockey. Now I thought, maybe he had sent it for the submission or something, but he picked that up and sent it to me as an early birthday gift. And my birthday is not even until July, so.
Well, as part of my expo thing, I'm gonna try to see if I can pick up an Ottinger too. I'm not gonna go too crazy. My budget is a little bit restricted, a little bit limited. Oh, Eric, while you're at expo, what are you going after? Oh, never mind. Sorry, moving on.
Rub it in.
Yep. He's going to send you money.
He's going to send me money for the like button is what you should send me.
That actually could be fun. You could like commission and like throw a little finder fee on top and have fun and actually shop and buy cards on his dime. Look at this. This is a plan. Eric, what are you looking for? What do you got Carlos on the hunt for?
Nothing. I'll do it myself.
All he said was Montreal Canadiens cards. That's all he said. He goes, Montreal Canadian cards. I want all the Montreal.
I need all the Guy Carbonneau cards that are out there. Just need to have them.
Hey, listen, that's what he said. I got the text messages, man. So I'm not going to show off too many of the base cards. You guys have seen the base cards. I'll show one just as we're chatting. I'll open some of the packs here. We'll see. The odds of any of the influencer cards are about 1 in every 5 boxes, so the odds are not in our favor. If I pull any fun Juan Soto cards or anything interesting, or maybe Flying Fish cards. Maybe
We
there's some flying
need
fish in there.
Timmy 2 hats.
I'm gonna try, man. I'm trying. I'll give it a shot. I'll see what I can do.
You gotta get a Timmy 2 hat.
I'll see what I can do. So you guys have seen these, the City Slickers cards. They're not bad. There's some decent little cheap inserts and stuff. Become a big leader. There's those scratch off cards.
You're
And I
going
do
after
like-
that next year, aren't you?
Do they have autographs or,
What's that?
or game memorabilia in this set?
No game memorabilia on this one. So autographs, yes. I pulled an autograph in the first box. What were you saying, Bubbles?
You're going to stack those scratch off cards so you can do the contest so you can have your card next year, right?
Well, the funny thing is somebody brought it up, which is true. Tops will make you your own card. You can literally just when I do my pickup videos, I literally have my tops, because I'm Carlos card that it's like I got a stack of them. I bring them to the expo in case someone wants one, but it's like you can literally just order your own. You can have as many as you like. It's not necessary. If they make you a set like the influencer set, then so be it. Fine, whatever. But outside of that, nah, man, you can literally just have your own card made. You can pick a design that you like. There's a Bobby Witt Jr. City Slickers card. There you go. You got the Mustache Man here. Spencer Strider. They got one of the little foil cards per pack. Like I said, for the price point on these is pretty cheap. And I mentioned to Eric, actually, the pre-order price here was $70 Canadian. I went to the comic book shop, which normally has higher prices. And I asked them, "Oh, do you got the boxes?" "Yep, we got the boxes." "All right, how much you got? How much is it?" "Oh, 68, 66, 67.99. I was like, "That's cheaper than the pre-order price." "All right, I'll take a box. Give me a box." I'll open one more box for science.
For science, yeah.
For science, of course. Absolutely. Might as well. Like I said, for what they are, I actually like the opening the boxes. But the likelihood of you pulling something crazy is not super high. I beat the odds with the autograph on the first box, honestly.
So I don't know if I've ever shared this on your channel. I've showed it on
Hold on,
mine.
before you do that, hold on. Juan Soto. We got the Soto card. There you go.
It's
I'll
like
keep that
a
one.
name tag at it says hello. Is that what it says? It's like a name tag.
That one is hello, my name is. It's like a name tag card. It's called Roll Call. There's a Ryan Mountcastle. Let's see here. Nothing too crazy. So let me read real quick. Hockey, I understand. Carlos was watching Dustin interview the Reserve Investments. Sean from Reserve Investment. When he told Dustin the Strangest Thing card will highly hold little long-term value, the disappointed look on his face needed the Ted DiBiase laugh. A lot of things do. Bobbles, are you out on baseball collecting? Are you not collecting the baseballs? Bobbles is shifting his entire focus to the Pokies.
No, I'm not out on baseball. It's just I'm a Nationals fan, and there's not a lot to be excited about collecting with Nationals, except, if I go back and collect the older players that are still on the team or that were on the team. And obviously vintage and stuff like that. But I mean, I have the most fun when I collect the players and the teams that I like. So I'm not out on baseball at all. Just my team sucks right now.
Yeah. Oh, we had somebody reference it to Fernando Tatis, so there's your Fernando Tatis base. There you go. You got a Fernando Tatis sighting. As funny is that part of the reason that I've been having so much fun with the wrestling is not that it's not that I don't collect my other stuff, but realistically, like there just hasn't been too much that I think is exciting. It's just like, yeah, I wouldn't mind like grabbing it, but also I feel like a lot of the stuff that I want to pick up is expensive for what it is. It's like, so that's the reason why I'm opening the box of this, because relatively speaking, the price of this for a hobby box is relatively cheap. And I can still pull some cards that are fun in it, which is fine. Hey, listen, I'm crossing my fingers. I'm still hoping for the Bo Jackson auto. Chances are not in my favor, but I still wouldn't mind having a shot at it. Bo Jackson card, that's right, Orlando. Gold Devils, all right, Paul, good, congratulations. Michael Ham says, almost bought a blaster box today. Come on, Michael Ham, you got to do it, buddy. You got to do it. Brendan Ryan says, I wouldn't mind because I'm Carlos Auto rookie card. If you, for whatever reason, you would actually like one, Brendan Ryan, just shoot me a message on Instagram. Give me an address to send it to, and I'll send you one. I have plenty of them. Don't worry about it. I'll send you one, no problem. But you have to give me a place to send it. Joel Bubbles, Joel, it was 2019. That's right. There you go.
2019 was an amazing year.
Yep.
And I almost wish, as far as being a baseball fan, that I was able to like separate myself from just being a national fan, because it's cool. She follows the Kraken. I follow the Stars. That's a fun little dispute we have between each other. And then we also follow the Capitals. So it's not that we're just tied to one single team. But in baseball, we really don't root for anybody except the Nationals. And again, they suck right now, and they're probably going to suck for a long time. So
Now,
Hey,
when
it
you
could be
say-
worse. It could be worse. It could be an Oakland A's situation. They'll be off in Vegas in a couple of years, it seems.
Now, when you say they suck, what level do they suck? Do they suck like Red Sox suck, or like Oakland A's suck, or where on the suck chart do they suck? Because like Boston is like suck.
So we won the World Series in 2019,
Cheated. Go
and
ahead.
there is like one player, well, basically one player on the team right now that still exists from that 2019 World Series team.
Cheated. Go ahead.
The
No,
the, 20,
we
the
didn't
2019 is the Astros. The Astros were the ones who did the cheating.
Right.
The Nationals were the team that played them.
Oh, the Nationals didn't cheat.
No,
Not that we're aware of.
we
They
beat the
probably
Cheaters.
did, though.
By the way,
Anyway.
I like the image they use here. They actually stuck with the Canada Day one. It's nice that they use a little different picture on it. So props to them on that.
I'm saying they are on the suck level that I will be shocked if they win 40 games this year.
There you go.
So they'll still be better than the Red Sox. Okay.
Doubt it. We're getting spanked by the damn Orioles. And when you live in this area and you have that rivalry, the Baltimore-Washington rivalry, or the Beltway battle as they call it, you do not want to be on the getting spanked by the other team end, because that's not a good thing.
Look at Paul giving the reference. 1990-93 Patriots suck. Brutal, sir.
That was bad. They were so bad then that home games were not shown on TV because of the blackouts, because the stadium was empty. And of course, they weren't on the away games either, because who the hell wants to see that on national TV? So we would go 3 years and maybe got a chance to see 4 games, in total. They were so bad. Tommy Hodson was our quarterback, and Hugh Millen. Those were our quarterbacks before Drew Bledsoe showed up and saved us.
Well, to give you an idea, Boston right now has won twice as many games as the Nationals have. So if Boston is suck, then we're twice as suck.
Wow.
So you're double suck comparatively.
We're double suck.
I see. So so I beat the odds again on this box. So I
Okay.
got an autograph, but I don't know what the parallels are, but I got an autograph, and I'll quickly show here. So I got an autograph, and I got an autograph out of 5.
Oh, and who is this?
I've never
So this
seen
is,
anybody.
but the best part is it's like XZ. So I want to say Xavian Curry.
Oh, well,
That dude is special. He has an X, a Z, and a V. All.
But that's
in
what I
his
mean.
first name.
But literally, like, I had to think about it a second for a moment. So this feels like a Neo special. Neo! Somewhere off in the distance, someone hail Neo and tell me who the hell this is
and
from the
what
Cleveland
a-
Guardians.
And what a great auto, an X and a Y. That's just fantastic.
Is that a Y or a Z?
I have no idea, man. Like, I didn't even look. It's an autograph out of 5. All right, I pulled it out of a $68 box. Like, I beat the odds. I'll take it. I don't know who this is, but it's out of 5. It's 5 of 5. I did okay. Again, if you
I think
get the
Tag-
price point on a hobby box low enough, your standards on what constitutes a hit drop a lot.
Tag is grading at the expo, right? I mean, you
No,
could always get it slapped up.
they'll receive cards. They'll just take cards. They won't grade for it.
Oh, okay.
They don't actually do grading. They do free coasters. They can give you a coaster.
I was gonna say you could get it coastered up, and then you have one of the only 5 coasters that could exist.
These are facts, sir. These are facts. Facts.
Rarity matters. Ask Paul.
That's right.
Paul will confirm. Rarity matters.
Well,
That would be
far,
rare.
So far, so I think I'm gonna have to retire on these 2 hobby boxes. I pulled 2 autographs, including an autograph out of 5. I'm gonna have a tough time beating that.
XY.
Yeah, for old XY.
The old XY.
I'll take it, man. Whatever. I'll take
Now,
it.
see, a lot of times they have players, legendary players with low pop counts, to make them more valuable. With XY, they're like, dude, you don't have to sign more than 5 because nobody wants them.
You're gonna see. You're trying to claim that this is true. We're gonna find out that old XY is the best ever. And in the same pack bubbles, got a little Soto
with the shuffle.
with the shuffle. We'll take it.
Was he doing side bends? What the hell?
This is the shuffle, man. You don't know about the Soto shuffle? It's something you can't do with your broken hip, but it's a thing. It is a thing that he does. So there you go. So far so good. Pretty good for a box. I don't have an influencer card, but I've done okay. It's not bad for a hobby box.
How many more did you go through the whole thing?
Maybe
right now I've got about half the packs left. I've been taking my time, man. Like if you're gonna pay money for it, take your time.
We could still get a Timmy.
We've still got a chance.
All right.
Rick Pitino's Celtics level suck. There you go.
Oh my God. You guys want to have fun? You guys have to look up Rick Pitino calling in to promote his book or something on 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston. And he put the radio guys on hold or something. And it just made him furious. So when he finally said, called in and got on the phone with them live on air, one of the morning guys just went, "You killed the Celtics," and then just hung up on him.
Nice.
It was awesome. So I'm not doing it justice, but you have to look it up how Rick Pitino got just destroyed on morning sports talk radio here a couple years back. Oh my God, it was awesome.
Fair enough. Green cardboard here. Okay, guys, purchasing my flights for the U.S. Might take us to the National. Any of you going? So I think you're going to the National, right, Bubbles?
Yep, we will be there.
Yeah, so that I had that in the plans, and I have the ticket reservation. I'm still not going to say no, but I'm going to say I'm 90-10 not going to happen. Well, we'll see what happens. There's still a little time left.
0% of me going.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. It doesn't make too much sense for me at the moment, but you never know. Like I do have the ticket I do have the hotel reservation, so I do still have the option. But I have to see if I can get back in what I was doing and get back into the swing of things, maybe. But it is a really expensive trip. So it's one of those things like, I'm kind of iffy on it. I got a little Shohei. I got a Shohei base there. So that was always something I wanted to make sure. That's why I made it a reservation that you could cancel, just in case something came up. And at the moment, it's not looking like it's going to happen. We'll see. Tag couldn't bring the TI 82 to grade on site. Too many secrets. True. I'd rather be stuck with rare that no one wants, over popular, but everyone has it. Paul, and you will. Paul's enough motorsports that is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Paul wants that XY, baby.
That's right. That's right. I think, mind you, there are a lot of prospects. Who's JJ Bleday? JJ Bleday? Anybody?
Oh, double
He
J.
was a top
double
prospect like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He was a guy everybody was chasing in Bowman.
Nice. So we got the Bo. That was all right. Like that. Bo Jackson. Joe Musgrove. So you get one of these 401s in every pack.
Yeah, those look nice looking.
Yeah, but basically they got like four tiers of base cards, 4 tiers of base cards, and the one per pack is a little bit tougher. They're numbered the next tier above the base, and then they've got a red, they got a blue, and they've also got the gold ones that are really tough. The gold ones are basically 1 per case, so if you get one of those ones, that's a really tough card. Now, mind you, that makes it trickier. Like if you're talking about, the kids collect the card, it's like, yes, they can. If you want to collect the regular base set or maybe the first level parallels, yeah, sure. The second level parallels, yeah, I would say still, sure. But when you get to the 1 per case, then probably you're paying about $20 or $30 for a base card. You can still do it, but I'm just throwing it out there. So we got Kyle Tucker as part of that one, and this is the blue one. I think these are 1 per box, if I'm not mistaken. So that is the next tier up from the first set of foils.
And who's he?
That is Oswald Peraza from the New York Yankees. They know him in his house.
Oh, yeah. All right. Woo woo.
Hey, he's at least as popular as Booby Orr. Marlins. First pick here with Adley Rushman. There you go. I cannot find an 8-bit, a Bow 8-bit auto. Me neither. I think those are actually numbered though. They're pretty short printed. Should be up this year. There you go. It's actually the 60s motorcycle cards totally stuck with, but when I pivoted to super rare, I might be able to sell. Did way better than most. Still in the green when you look at the portfolio. Look at you looking at the portfolio. Hashtag invest.
You know, Paul, back when I was doing counseling, I would let the, I would let the person, kind of talk and get things off their chest. And then I'd look at them and I'd say, my only question is, who are you trying to convince, me or you? And I just stare at them. And then they would realize that they were trying to convince themselves. And I think we have that going on here tonight, Paul.
The old mascot cards, Eric. Come on. Slider from the Cleveland Guardians. Come on.
You can't.
You got a Cleveland influencer box.
I know. This was Neo's box. I think that's what happened over here. I got old XY or whatever. And then I got the mascot card from Cleveland too. I think they accidentally sent me Neo's box. They should have let me know. Okay, real quick. There you go. Nice.
Who's that?
Ronald Acuna Jr.
I actually heard of that name once or twice.
Jeremy Pena. There's the Dakota special.
No idea.
Appreciate that one. He's
Did
from
you
Houston.
just say no idea?
I don't have a clue who that is.
It's okay.
He was
plays in
World Series
Houston.
MVP
No one knows.
last year.
Yeah,
Who
they also
won?
won the World Series last year.
Who won the World Series last year?
Houston.
Did they cheat again?
Probably. If we're being
Probably.
honest, probably. But, they'll claim this time it was legit. So, if you say so.
I don't know. Dusty was the manager. Do you think Dusty would have cheated?
Would he know? Got
Eh,
Derek
that could be the
Jeter.
case. That could be the case.
Derek Jeter. Here you go. Second year, Wander Franco. Is it second year, I think? Maybe. I forget now.
Yeah. Because I'm still waiting on my auto.
So, question for you, Bobbles. I know that obviously you did get the Ottinger card. I'm going to be looking for some of the Ottinger cards and stuff. So are you looking for any of the other Robertsons? You got the one that you were keenly looking for. Is there anything else that catches your eye that you're interested in?
I actually, there was one that ended the other night that I had on my watch that it went a little more than I wanted to spend, but it was a black diamond. And you know how they're normally just the black with the silver ink?
Yep.
This one was really cool. I think it was out of either 3 or 5, but it was of white.
Mm-hmm.
The Luminous rookie patch auto out of white one.
Oh, yeah.
That one
okay.
looked really nice. So I was looking at that one. I didn't get it. I have been looking, as we've discussed, Ottinger, RPA. DC Sports had one on auction that I passed on. I may just go with.
If you look carefully, Eric, there might be a chocolate stick in there somewhere. Who knows?
Don't tease me. That.
Hard to say. Look, I'm just saying. Maybe.
You
I
don't
might just go with a regular patch Ottinger just to save the money on him. But I do think that for his skill level at the goaltender position.
Okay, hold on. I don't think there's no way. What? Okay, this is lame. So I got one of the mascot cards. This is the one for the Baltimore Orioles. So you know how they put the name at the bottom, right? The Cleveland one was Slider, I guess Slider. Okay, look at what it says on the bottom of the Baltimore Orioles one.
mascot.
That is lame, Baltimore. It's a bird. Come up with a name. Come on, guys. Mascot. Come on.
Mascot. That's it.
That's trash. That is trash.
That is lazy.
That is either so one of two things. Either that is the laziest thing in the world, or good old Tops forgot to change it. Either way, funny. Either way, I'm amused. Either way, but it happens. Real quick here.
The name is the Oriole Bird.
Okay, that's almost as lame as mascot.
I'd rather have mascot.
Yeah, mascot felt better. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's his name, the Oriole Bird.
No, that's unacceptable.
Toronto had a pretty lame one. They have a bird mascot too. It used to be called BJ Birdie, and now they've got Ace and something. I forget what it's called, but they should have just stuck with BJ Birdie.
We have this Oscar the Grouch looking thing called Wally.
I thought you were gonna say like Eric.
No, I would do a better job, but yeah, we have Wally the Green Monster.
That's true. Yes, that's right.
Yes, he looks like Oscar the Grouch in a Red Sox uniform.
Okay, so here's a fun question, and
Go ahead.
this was asking me at Chantilly.
Last pack, our last chance at the influencer cards. Pray for the Timmy 2 hats. Pray for it. This is our last chance. Glory's last shot. Go ahead, Bubbles.
Come on, Timmy Two Hats.
So on the mascot cards,
Mhm.
not every team has one.
Yes.
What teams do not have the mascot?
Do not have a mascot. It's a fair question. I wouldn't know the answer. I don't keep track of the mascots, but a fair question.
The
Nope.
Dodgers and Yankees.
No
are
luck,
the two
boys. I'm
most-
sorry. No influencer cards. So that's 2 hobby boxes for me. No influencer cards. 2 autographs, yes, but no influencer cards. I am over.
XY is an influencer. Come on. His name has an X, Y, and
Yeah,
a V in it.
Only to Neo. Paul here says Eric's obviously never walked up to the dealer table. Been confident he can say, bet you never seen that one before. No, seriously, I did super well in Vintage F1. Fair enough. Joel says
Well,
blasphemy on speaking of the Houston thing.
Congratulations on doing well. That's wonderful. But I've walked up to many tables and said, I bet you've never seen this before.
Yeah, most of the time they're like, I don't know what hockey is, sir. Please leave us alone.
Oh no, I was like, can you take a look at this open wound I have here on my? Does this look infected to you? I bet you've never seen this before.
That's a completely different context. That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a good retort. That's a good response to Paul.
Yeah, look at this mole. I think it's growing as we look at it. I bet you've never seen that before.
Joe says blasphemy is pertaining to our suggestion that Houston may have cheated, perhaps. Big Scott says it's not cheating if you're not trying. Oh, sorry, if you're not cheating, then you're not trying. That's right, Big Scott. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
he's
the way
a
I-
Mets fan who has a cheater, apparently, that just got suspended. What is that going to affect for his Hall of Fame? Mr. Max Scherzer.
True. Speaking of mascots, University of Georgia introduced a new English Bulldog as their mascot. UGA 11. His nickname is Boom. There you go. Good evening, Tom. Bubbles, that is your cue to whip out your Dr. Dre. By the way,
Paul knows I have those locked up.
Yeah. By the way, I did laugh because I was looking at it, and right now because the expo's on, basically the expo Instagram account will repost anybody that speaks of expo or tags expo or whatever. And we've got SGC is not going to do any. SGC doesn't have an official booth. I think they're doing it through MintLink. They're doing it from MintLink as the submission center, and basically they've got a special for submissions, but they're not doing a booth as far as I'm aware.
That's
15% off.
that seems crazy.
They're doing, I think it's 25 Canadian, which isn't too bad actually. And I think it includes a lot of the stuff that's normally baked in. Very similar to a little bit what the PSA Canada does, because obviously the issue with us is customs. Like what it really comes down to. If you're taking in submission, you have to bear in mind that there's going to be customs and shipping, and there's a lot of it. Apparently they're using a simplified pricing model, which is smart. That's basically what PSA Canada's done for years, and that is how you do it. Now, what you don't do is say $150 for on-site grading. Like, but who would do that? What kind of a company would do such a thing? Wait, Bobbles, that is blasphemy. He helped to win you a title.
Oh, I love Max, but I mean, he just got suspended and he's on Met now.
On his children's lives, he didn't cheat. Quote unquote.
Max wouldn't say that. He would just cuss you out.
I was going to say.
He said
Facts. True story.
all he had was sweat and rosin on my children's lives. I didn't have anything else.
I think the problem that we have here is Michael Ham says Jason Dominguez is hitting 088 and 34 at bats. Tom says, isn't it Jason? Doesn't it have a Y? For Jason Dominguez?
But what is his war?
Does any of it matter? They're baseball players. Who cares?
Listen, you're a guy who likes the hockeys.
I love the hockeys.
We have a very Bobbles. Should I tell him about the script? He's like, he doesn't want to know what happens in Act 3.
Is it like wrestling?
Let's just say Boobior might not make it to the end of Act 3. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
Be careful. Be careful of Boobior. I hope you make peace with your affection for Boobior.
oh boy.
Just saying. Spoilers. Spoilers. He has 3 hits, but 7 stolen bases. There you go. Good for him. Good for him. So, Michael Ham, we're kind of just chilling. We'll hang on for a little bit. It is going to be shorter than a normal show. But Mr. Ham, if you want to pop on and chat a little bit, just let me know and I can shoot you a link. We're just kind of hanging out and chilling. It is, like I said, it's not our usual show. I did have a little fun opening the box. That was fun. Like I said, for the money, it's fun. Like these are basically the inserts and like parallels and stuff in it. You get a fair bit of random stuff in it. But if you're not into it, you're not going to be into it. I won't say it's a good value, although obviously the cheaper the box, the less you lose if you don't pull anything you care for that much. So there is that element of it. If you just like opening packs, I do. So for me, it's fun. And obviously I did at least pull one half decent card. Honestly, that'll probably go up on eBay. Unless Neo wants to make me a Godfather offer to it, because I have no idea who the hell this is.
You're not going to keep XY?
No, I'm not.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely.
Right, I'll buy it. I will give you $500 for XY.
I want.
You
cash.
heard him.
Let's
Do
go.
it.
I need that in my collection.
You heard the man. He needs it.
I need it.
Makar has the highest points per game average versus Booby. Facts.
Baz, you're pushing those buttons.
The people are speaking facts, man. I don't know what to tell you. No live tomorrow? No, I'm afraid not, my man. Tomorrow I'm going to be at the show, and then Friday, the show ends at 8 p.m. So I'll probably be hanging around until the end of the show, and then we'll go out to dinner. And I just took a look at it. So there's 2 problems. Number 1, and Bobbles knows this. Tomorrow night, to a lesser degree, Boston will be playing. No one cares. But Dallas will be playing. So Bobbles is going to be watching that game. I'm going to be watching that game. The people are going to be watching that game. So we'll be a little distracted. We'll be a little busy. And then the other aspect of it is I'm not at my usual hotel. My usual hotel is actually pretty good. My internet's pretty reliable. This one, I don't know. I'll see. But I'm not going to count. I decided that I would go live tonight because I figure, okay, it's in between the 2 Dallas games in the series, between the 2 Boston games in the series. And I figured, all right, tonight I'm at least in the home base. I can vouch for the internet working. I'm not going to bring the microphone and everything over the 2 days and hope for the best and try to find time. Because if I tried to do Friday, it would have been no earlier than like 10-ish, 11 to start off. And I'm like, it would have been a truncated show either way. No way.
And if
No
Boston played as poorly as they did yesterday again, you wouldn't really want to have me on anyway, because I'd just be out of my mind.
There you go. Watch while packing, going to Indiana for a couple of days. Well, have fun in Indiana. Sounds good. No worries. Speaking of throwing away money, picked up, hold on, let me just read these last 2. Speaking of throwing away money, picked up 3 UFC boxes, 2023 UFC boxes, the same price as last year's 2022 hobby box. And last one is Baz. Are you staying down in Yonge Street? You should look up where the expo is, Baz. Anyway, moving on. Air to breathe. You don't need a piece of cardboard with Kathy. Do not speak lies. Do not speak these lies. We like you, Kathy, but we can't have this kind of blasphemy here. Houston slander will accept. Sorry, Joe, but that's blasphemous. We appreciate you, Kathy, but settle down. We appreciate you, but settle down.
Yeah, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get the importance
you were saying?
of the cardboard.
I was gonna ask you if you seen any Matty Beniers autos at the expo, but what in the hell? Like, he doesn't even have any top end products out right now, and his prices on his autos are insane. Do we see this as a trend going forward because of the delays?
Are we sure that Mrs. Bobbles isn't just buying them all and that's why it's insane? Can you completely discount this possibility? Do you have funds that are not unaccounted for?
She's not. Like, actually, I am going to say that she's not, because she doesn't even have all of the bobbleheads yet. So,
all right, if you say so.
She wouldn't be buying the autos if she didn't have all the bobbleheads. So, but yeah, I mean, these prices are kind of high. I feel on like artifacts. Mm-hmm. So I might be in trouble.
Facts. I appreciate it, Tom, but don't worry, we got you. Here we go. Linus Ulmark is my Bobbles Jason Robertson. Won his Future Watch Auto last summer, $18 because he's a Saber traffic. Now I'm going to flip that baby for a decent 5 to 10x. Let's go evil flipper time. Have a good time.
Except I have not flipped a single Jason Robertson, even when he was on freaking fire and To the Moon and everything else. So he's not the equal of Jason Robertson because I haven't sold any of them. So
We'll see.
Even
We'll
though I've
see.
been
We'll
accused of
see. We'll see
pumping
what
it.
happens, Bobbles, when you've sufficiently pumped it to the point it's like, so mega yacht, mega yacht.
nah.
That's a young gun, yes. Who is it of? I can't read it.
Look, he's
all
even looking down at that magnet. Like,
Ah.
what the fuck are you doing with this case?
I know.
Look at him. He's looking at it.
Yeah, in the picture, I agree. He's like, this is craziness. What is this nonsense?
Yep, that's all Mark's young guns.
So for a guy who doesn't do anything with new product, why do you have one?
It came about easily in front of me.
Don't
And-
tell me you saw it. It happened to be laying on the floor in the store. Eric,
no,
is there some thievery afoot?
No, it's at a show. It was at a show when he first got when he first signed or got traded or whatever, and from Buffalo, and it was like $2 or something. I was like, all right, what the hell, I don't know what it's worth now. I'm hoping that it's worth something, but I have no idea.
So Michael Ham is trying to add some video game rules. I like this. This is almost NBA Jam-ish. It's fun to add to baseball. If you rob a home run, all runs that would have scored, you gain. Fancy. Settle down with the gain. I see you, Paul. I see you. I'm a Sabres fan. Allmark is on Bruins, so different on the sell aspect. Meant lucky to pick it in top league. Yep. Maybe the same profit in the next top level, buyback cheaper, says the guy who hasn't sold a single card yet. Happens, man. I don't know. Listen, if I get a ping from Neo, I might sell this card before the end of broadcast. Out of 5, Neo. Out of 5.
I'm going to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I understand that there are points that you can sell players, or that you can sell cards and then buy them back later and obviously make.
And a lot of times you do. And here's the thing, we joke about that, but historically it is true. That does happen a lot. You can't actually buy back. I've literally sold and rebought the same Juan Soto card multiple times. And each time I sold it for more than what I bought for. And then I bought the next one for less than what I sold the previous one for.
But what I was going to say is, as someone who sells cards, my PC stuff, we talked about Ovechkin, right?
Yeah.
When he was hot, approaching, I didn't sell it. Like, when it's stuff that I bought specifically to keep for my collection, it's just hard for me to turn that switch on and say, okay, I'm going to sell this. Because I've already taken the effort to find it once. I don't want to let it go to then try to have to track it back down again. So I'll sell the stuff I don't want that has no meaning to me. And if the other stuff, goes to the moon and then it comes back down, because its helium ran out, then so be it. But at least I can say I still have it. So
Good times.
I'm addicted to money, but can make it in other ways.
Look at you. There you go.
I have a Larry Bird second season PSA 8 that was selling for about $1,000 during the height of the boom, and I paid $25 for it. And I'm like, no, I bought that card because I want it. I want that Larry Bird card, and I paid for it because I wanted it. And and I watched it hit $1,000, and then I watched it start falling back down, and now it's probably back down to $25. But I have no regrets because that's what I want. It's in my collection. I really love it, and didn't want to sell it. Now, if it was like $5,000, I'd be an idiot not to get rid of it. But I was just like, no, it's mine.
I have some stuff I didn't sell.
Just because it's worth a lot of money doesn't mean you have to move it.
There's one card that I'm sure is way less than I paid for it right now. but it was a card that I should have bought when it was way cheaper than what I bought it for. And then it was a monkey on my back that just haunted me because I felt stupid for not buying it. But that was the Soto first Bowman. I had looked at them when they were $50. She told me to buy one, and then they hit what, couple grand,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh well, I was stupid, and I was finally able to work a trade deal to get one, and it's a card that's probably down below the value I got it for when I traded for it, but it's Juan Soto, a guy I like, a guy I collect, and it is what it is. And I got the monkey off my back.
Now what we need to do is take advantage of and try to get him to hit above his weight. That'd be nice. Bassir says people are saying Soto may be a bust. You realize what a bust is, right?
He's not a bust. He's got a World Series ring.
He's got a World Series ring and a batting title.
Yeah.
Now, if he could very well never do anything after that, that happens. You know, guys lose it sometimes. Don Mattingly should have been in the Hall of Fame based on the trajectory he was on, and then suddenly lost it. Fishboy was never good. In fact, he's so bad, I didn't even pull a Fishboy card. That's how bad it is. We didn't even get a flying Fishboy card in this entire box.
It's because nobody wants them.
I know. I was excited to have a flying Fishboy card. It was going to be so good. Now I'm double checking to make sure I didn't miss one that I totally whiffed on, because I didn't see it. I did see the Otani, so I don't know, man. This box even rejected Fishboy. This is tragic.
I gotta tell you, Toronto is doing pretty well at the moment, and you know, I don't. There, it's in the second, 4 minutes to go in the second, and they're
4 minutes.
4 minutes to go in the second, and they're up 5-1.
There you go. There's a good old Toronto Maple Leafs rebound.
So,
Now all the locals will be like, "We're gonna win the Stanley Cup, you guys." Okay, guys.
well, they have to play the third period, so you know you never know.
He's like, "Are they up by 30? The other team might come back."
Are up by 4 enough? I don't know.
I'm not sure up by 40 is enough. The Leafs fan base is fully traumatized.
Yeah.
I enjoy listening to sports radio. They're very traumatized. It's highly entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, they have to be pretty happy right now, but who knows?
It is true. It is true. Well, you remember it was one of those Boston series. What was the series that they were up in Game 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that one. I've watched replays of people who had, and just for the record, question: why would you have a camera of you and your friends watching a game? What were you hoping to capture? And it's just watching them react to it. And I've watched it. I might have cackled.
Yeah.
A timer 17. I'm just saying, maybe about 20 of those views were me. It was me. It was me all along. Yeah, no, it looks like. Hold on. I'm looking. No flying fish boy. Wow, this is disappointing. There's so much excitement. Previous utterances. Just terrible.
How could you buy it? In all seriousness, how can you buy an entire box of baseball cards and not have the most popular player in the league in any of the packs in an entire box? Something isn't right there.
We got Bo
It
Jackson.
had XY.
We got Bo Jackson.
What more can you ask for?
We got multiple Bo Jacksons. We got
I
multiple
love Bo Jacksons. I was old enough to actually watch him play in his, during both his careers.
That's all I'm saying, man. We got Adley Rushman. We got Mascot.
Mascot is definitely a case hit.
That's huge. Huge.
I thought XY was the case hit, but Mascot's definitely the case
We got
hit.
Mascot. We got Julio Rodriguez with the chocolate stick in the background.
I don't know who that is, but I like the idea that he likes donuts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Yep, not a bad second box. I can't complain.
Oh,
I even got a Vladdy Jr.
I kid you not. It's now 6-1. Do you think 5 goals is enough to win a game?
Maybe. Just wait, go Lightning. Yep, absolutely. Mattingly 2100 hits, Soto 625, Mattingly average 165 games a year. They're in the same league right now. Neither of them are going to Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, listen, back when I actually watched a little baseball, Mattingly was one of the top 5 stars
He was.
for a decade.
He was. And even in the
Yeah.
hobby wise, his rookie was one of the big sought after ones. The 84 Donruss was a huge card. Even the 84 Tops was a huge card. I'm having some fun with Baz because here's the thing. I don't worry. The thing with baseball is we take long sample sizes. I don't worry about. Let's put it this way. Last season he played badly, but he had a great WAR. So I'm like, okay. So what does that mean? That's why I have so much fun with good old fashioned WAR. It's like, well, technically, according to WAR, he played just fine. So did he play well or badly?
There's a few things that you got to think about with Soto to break it down. And this is coming from a national fan who loved the kid. Last year, he started out in an organization that I just said is double suck, the Boston Red Sox. He had nobody else around him. It's hard to go out there and play a game and be excited when you know every night you're probably going to lose. He had nobody else in the lineup to protect him. I mean, there was really nothing. Then he gets transferred across the country, goes to San Diego, who has Machado. You know, they got a beefy squad. Talk starts all happening. Tatis is hurt. They're expecting him to come back, this dominant lineup. Oh, well, Tatis shoots up. Okay. So then he's put in that odd situation. But then you have to think, the kid, we're talking about a 24-year-old. You got to think about that. Yeah, he's been in the league a while, but he's only still 24. He's also playing right now to potentially receive what could be the largest contract ever seen in Major League Baseball. So there's pressure there because you know he's wanting to perform, and he's probably just mentally trying too damn hard. I don't think he's a bust. The kid has too much talent. We've seen it. You don't just like, that's just not a switch that you just go
Can you
on
be
and
a
on.
bust at 24? 24 is, I mean, does the kid shave yet? I mean, for God's sakes.
Probably not.
I don't think you can be a bust at 24.
Well,
Yeah,
there's,
well,
there's guys in
that's why I
minors
say
that are probably
that's why I
older
say
than
we'll
him.
have to play. We'll have to play it out. So Bass here
mean-
says Mattingly will make the Hall of Fame being Veterans Committee. He's already failed 3 times in the Veterans Committee.
He must
And
have some people
no,
off.
here's the thing. I have no issue with Mattingly whether he goes to. I think a good case could be made, but just to be clear, he was eligible for the 15-year run in the regular Hall of Fame voting. Didn't make it in 15 years. 3 times in the Veterans Committee, he has not gotten enough votes. In 2022 is the 3rd time the Veterans Committee considered him, and he didn't get in. So is it possible down the road at some point? I don't know why they don't like him now. The Veterans Committee is composed of former players too, as part of that committee. So he's had 3 times that he's been in the Veterans Committee, failed 3 times to get in.
I mean, the guy was known as Donnie Baseball, for God's sakes. I mean, he was. I just don't understand how this stuff works sometimes. Hall of Fames really do frustrate the hell out of me.
That's the thing. Look, the reason why I always point out is that you never know what they're going to be. And Tom here is kind of pointing the point. I feel like there's a personal element to it. There's something. There's something that they don't like, because the Veterans Committee is composed of a variety of different people. It's not just the writers. Former players are part of that too. So if they're not supporting you, there's an issue of some kind. I don't know what it is, but there's something that they don't like. Matty doesn't have the stats to get in, but he will be put in. Again, every year that goes by, we move further and further into the past. More players will become eligible. So it doesn't get easier; it gets harder as time goes on.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't care what the sport is. Okay, could be water polo. If someone becomes eligible for the Hall of Fame, and everyone doesn't go, oh yeah, obviously, then the guy is not a Hall of Famer. And when you start saying, well, this person's stats are similar to these people, and he had in 1984 he led the league in homers, but he dropped off, but his WAR is this, and he was the best hitter on a Saturday on sunny days, at noon for 12 years. I mean, I hate that stuff. When a name pops into your head, 99% of the people should go, oh yeah, obviously a Hall of Famer. If that doesn't happen, they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And we have way, way too many people in the Hall of Fame. And for someone to have to wait 20 years and get in through a veterans committee, like the side door, I think is embarrassing. And I wouldn't even want to be put in that way. Yeah, Clemens is obviously a Hall of Famer, but he cheated and he doesn't deserve to be in.
Eric has a very hard line on this. Let me read a couple of these here. Mattingly's favorite players, okay? The guy who's epitome of what baseball players are supposed to be. I have no issue. with the Mattingly thing. I actually was surprised. He only won one batting title. I was a bit surprised. I thought it was more. But, he had high averages for a lot of years. Mattingly's not a Hall of Fame, but he'll be out for nostalgia reasons. Hall of Fame is standing soft for entry. No, it's not, though. He literally isn't gaining ground. The last 3 times, he's been on the Veterans Committee 3 times. He's not gaining ground. He's stuck in the exact same spot with Veterans Committee. The Veterans Committee doesn't seem to care. Again, Veterans Committee is Veterans Committee is 12 people. 12. All you need to do is get enough of 12 people to vote. I don't know who he pissed off, but somebody doesn't seem to like him in those groups because they won't put him in. If there's a baseball cards Hall of Fame, I think there is a thing in there. The 84 Peachy and Nestle cards are legendary, yes. There are a lot of obvious Hall of Famers who never get in from Rose to 10 steroid era, 10 guys at least. Fair.
And they shouldn't. If you break the rules, especially if you cheat, you are automatically disqualified for being a Hall of Famer and being one of the greatest of all time. If you cheated.
So when we find out that Boubior was on performance enhancers and his entire career is a lie. His entire career is a lie. No, that was with him and steroids. His knee was destroyed despite steroids. He didn't even get the good shit.
The steroids destroyed his knee.
No, the steroids are the only reason he made it to season 2.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have even made it past season 1. That was it. His entire career is thank you, steroids.
So, if you cheated, you should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Orlando says Mattingly may not be in the Veterans list next year. He's already failed 3 times in the Veterans Committee, so it's kind of tough for him. These old guys gain ground 20, 30, 40, 50 years. You're probably pushing towards the 50 years in the future. Yeah, veterans eventually vote him in for nostalgia. How much nostalgia do you need? The guy's been retired a very long time. He's been retired for 30 years, man. 30 years. Let's see, 95. Almost 30 years. You have to have proof of the cheating. Oh, Joel.
I think we had when they all tested dirty, or the fact that their heads became square. Yeah, listen.
I will always support this position. Always support this position.
Hey, I can't make a comment and then say yeah, but because it will take away from any credibility I may have. So I have to stick to that. So if he doesn't get in,
so I look forward, Bobbles, when we finally expose the truth about Boubior. Finally expose the truth about Cam Neely, Ray Bork, everybody who's ever played for the Boston Bruins.
The Red
in
Sox.
History. Milt Schmidt, liar, cheater, fraud.
Now you
fraud.
Now you're starting to upset me.
That's okay.
I was willing to ignore the rest. You leave Uncle Milton alone.
Bubbles, I am so good at this. I'm so good at this, you guys.
Out of your mouth.
No, what was sorry? Defend Milt Schmidt. Go ahead.
Milt Schmidt.
Keep going. You're doing great. You're doing phenomenal. You're doing amazing. I'm so moved by your Bubbles. Are you not moved by his words? A single tear.
It was a great speech.
It was a great speech. Speech. You're doing so well.
Milt Schmidt's the greatest Bruin of all time.
Mm-hmm. Even greater than Boubior?
Yes.
His first name is Booby. Calculators speak his name.
That is true. I don't think you can put Milton.
No, you cannot. See, you clearly are thinking about this all wrong. This is why we don't give you a Hall of Fame vote. Man, terrible. So, folks, you tell me, what do y'all want to chat about? We'll hang out for a little bit. We're having some fun with it. But yeah, I'm kind of just honestly biding my time. I wanted to at least do a live stream before heading out to the show. I've got the cameras and everything. We've got the batteries charging. We're taking care of all that. I got to start packing up the boxes and everything so I can bring some stuff over. Gonna have some fun. Gonna hang out and chill a little bit. I already chatted with, shot a couple of messages back with Brad and a couple of folks there. They're already having some fun. I already told them not to have too much fun because I'll be by tomorrow and I'll be getting my pass and we'll hop in there and check it
I
out.
need you to tell Steve from Quincy Cards. I need you to tell him that I said, specifically me, I said, I hope he chokes on all of his Wayne Gretzky cards. He'll know what that means.
He's heard worse from better, but yes, I'll let him know.
I am sure that is the case.
He has literally heard worse from me over the course of the last 20 years.
I will not argue that point, but I want you to make sure you tell him that Eric Sanderson-Dorr says, I hope you choke on all of your Wayne Gretzky cards.
There. I'll take some pictures of them with you. I'll take some pictures of them for you.
That would be just fine.
Go ahead, Bubbles.
I was just going to say, I'm actually going to head out because 9 o'clock, the Kraken game is going to be starting soon. I got stuff I got to get finished up. I got to get up. Obviously, Fridays are a busy day for me. You mentioned cameras charged. I have promised about more content over on the other channel. And I finally bought the dual battery charger with 2 more batteries. The missus also hooked me up with some SD cards that actually will record for 4 hours instead of just 30 minutes.
Fancy.
I am going to do my best to get some more stuff up over there. I hope you guys have fun. Not you, Eric, because you're not going.
Yeah. No.
I hope you guys have fun at the expo. And if anybody's watching that watches my channel, I will be doing... I was hoping I got it done before the weekend because weekends are busy, but I'll be doing my SGC reveal and all that stuff likely tomorrow night. So if y'all want to hop on and see some cool cards. But I got to get some stuff done.
Totally stop watching the Bruins game and come over. No problem.
Oh, shit. It's a smaller order, and I'm probably going to start it early. That way I can get it done. Yeah,
have it done.
Watch your game. That is more important.
Well, what you should do is do it while you're super distracted by the game, and you're like, John Smith. It's literally like Bobby Orr or somebody. It's like,
oh no,
John Smith.
I'll have it scheduled before the Dallas game comes on. So
I can see him now. Usually he's like, hey, all right, well, here's this card right here. Yep, that's a great card. He's looking in the comments. Oh, that's great. Tomorrow night will be boom, 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 boom. Okay, box. Boom, 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 boom.
It's like, God damn it, Robertson, shoot.
All right, thanks for joining, everybody.
You're wide open, shoot.
But everybody root for the Kraken, please, because I am... Again, it's all in good fun, but I'm hoping her team makes it through. I hope Dallas makes it through because I would like to play her in the playoffs. I think it would just be fun to have the banter and, the Kraken being a new team. I think it would be cool to see them a bit. Plus, they're playing the defending champs.
Yeah, so, I hope you have a comfortable couch.
It's all in good fun.
Sure.
There you go. Sir, appreciate you popping in.
What's that?
I said it, sir. Appreciate you popping in.
Thanks for the invite. Again, have fun. Eric, not you. Eric, I'll get with you about Monday. I didn't do last Monday. I told Carlos, I'm not going to lie. I procrastinated, and I had to get my damn taxes done.
Yep.
So I was busy getting my taxes
Well, look,
filed,
plus Monday was going to be really bad. Once you got to a certain time slot, it's like people are busy. It's the first day of the playoffs. Playoffs just got started.
Yep, it was playoffs, Dallas game, all of that. So I just said, sorry, I'm not doing it tonight. But anyway, y'all have a great night and have fun at the expo. Eric, have a good weekend.
All right, buddy. You take it easy.
Sounds good. Have a good one. Take it easy.
I said hi.
That's what I need to hear, Eric. Morals and ethics, a little bit biased, but we know Tom getting in despite Darth Vader to Belichick's Darth Sidious.
I didn't say yeah, but so whatever. If you cheat and you're caught,
he's not legit like XS or XY.
Well, whoever.
This is a legit dude right here.
Oh yeah, he's. Totally,
I don't know who he is, but he's a legit dude.
Yeah, and no matter what he does, he could use a giant, one of those giant little kid wiffle ball bats, and he's still a Hall of Famer.
I hope so.
Whatever his name is.
At least until the sale goes through and the money clears.
Yeah.
Until then, yeah, he's the best.
Best. XY is the best.
What's a little PSI among goats? Facts, sir. Facts. And losing Lane Stanley Kerrang. Keep me posted if you come across an extra. There you go. Nice. Thoughts on A's moving to Vegas? It's a shame. It's a weird thing, though. I got to be honest. The A's franchise is one of the weirdest ones in professional sports, I have to say.
Oh, yes.
Because this is not the first time they've moved from a long-time home. If you go through their history, it was the Philadelphia A's. The Connie Mack Philadelphia A's have had a long history. And then they got uprooted. If I'm getting my timing right, I think they went and did the brief foray in Kansas City. That didn't work out. Like, it was really brief in Kansas City. Then they ended up in Oakland. But now they've been in Oakland a long time. And they've had a history in Oakland, including 3 straight championships in the 70s. And then obviously the 1 championship for the Bash Brothers Oakland A's. But since then, now they've got this ownership that was super cheap. But at the same time, the city had no money. And they kind of did this whole back and forth. And it was Oakland A's. It didn't seem like there was going to be a lot of time and life left in it. It was one of those things where it was only a matter of time. Like, you're not going to build another stadium. And this almost ventures into a different conversation. And I got to be 100% honest with you. Again, I become more casual with sports as I get older. It's just a fact of life for me. Everybody's their own thing. If I'm looking at it from a taxpayer's perspective, I don't want to pay for your stadium. I don't give a crap who you are. Like, I'm at the point in my life now where it's like, no, what? Move the team then. But move the fucking team. I'm not paying one dime for that shit. You're a business. Every other business can pay for its own real estate. Buy your own fucking land. Buy your own lease and build your own fucking stadium. And if you can't handle that, get the fuck out. Because you're making plenty of money. It's not that you're not making money. Don't lie to me. Because then when you build your stadium, in 20 years, it's obsolete anyway. And then you have to build another one. Then you have to build another one. That's bullshit. You haven't even paid off the first stadium. So I'm like, no, move them. It's a shame for the folks that are legit Oakland A's fans, because now they've been there so long, 50 years, that there are legitimate Oakland A's fans who have lived their entire lives being Oakland A's fans. For them, I feel bad. Because they're just being randomly moved to Vegas because Vegas. But the problem is all these municipalities are willing to cut these deals with these teams. It's garbage. It's bullshit. It's trash. Like, no. We got the Blue Jays here, but here's the deal. At this point, nobody's going to give the Blue Jays a dime to build a stadium. The reason the Jays exist today is because Rogers bought the Jays. They own all the TV rights, so they can air it on the network and play every single game. They bought the stadium for 27 cents on the dollar. And by 27 cents, I mean 27 cents on the dollar that was already devalued 14 times. Like, they literally got the stadium for nothing, and they can do whatever they want to it, and they got the land on it. But they're not going to get land for another stadium ever. The Dome is the Dome. Is the Dome the most exciting venue in the world? It is not, but it's the only place you got. There's nowhere else for you to put that team. So, and you're not getting more land, and you're not getting another deal to build another stadium somewhere else. That's your stadium. That's your location. It's a good spot. It's a good location. But yeah, if they ever came back and go, hey, we want to, you make billions of dollars. Rogers being the owner. You have so much, you have more money than God. You could buy another piece of land. You could build an island to build the stadium on it personally. You don't need any of our money. You already get plenty of our money anyway. So I'm sympathetic to the legit Oakland A's fans that still exist. But it's tough for me to feel bad about another stadium in another city. If I'm Oakland and I got almost no money to deal with anything real, I'm not giving them money for a stadium. I wouldn't give it to them either. So I understand why they went, because they got a sweetheart deal for Vegas. It won't have any legacy, but it's a shame. Any thoughts on this, Eric, just in general?
Yeah, I think California has to take a look at why are they losing teams? Why are teams moving all over the state? Why does this continue to happen in...
Well, in fairness, it's mostly Oakland. It's not California. It's literally Oakland. It's been Oakland for 3 of them.
Okay, but what about the Chargers? They were in San Diego forever. Now they're LA.
Mhm.
What about the LA Rams? They moved out, then they came, they went to St. Louis, and now they're back. So now there's two teams in LA. Um,
They're both out of the same stadium.
yeah, I
To,
mean,
but to be fair though, it's still the same issue. It's the municipality deal because they built a stadium,
so
so that
what?
both those teams decided they would rather just move into the same stadium. And one of the teams that moved away was Oakland.
So what is going on where, for my entire lifetime, the state of California has had teams moving in or out of the state, or moving all around the state. Something isn't going right there, because
Is
this
it?
doesn't happen in most other states.
Because most of them cave. Minnesota wouldn't have the Twins if they hadn't built them another stadium. Most of those places that still exist, they caved. They said, we'll give you whatever money you want, build a stadium. We'll be paying for it for the rest of our lives, but here, have another stadium.
I just think that, and I'm totally with you. I don't think taxpayers should, lose their money on, because what if you just hate sports? Why should you pay for a baseball stadium?
Yeah.
But you then have to look at it, if I put this much of my money in now, what's the return in tax revenue in the future? Other businesses coming in around the park and them paying taxes, it is, will putting up my tax money now bring more tax money into the city in the future?
I have
And
never seen anyone actually run the numbers. I would
Right.
bet if they ran the numbers, they would discover every single time we'd be better off without the team. Because
maybe,
I don't believe that they make enough money compared to how much money they have to put up front. Oh yeah, you make like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of new business and stuff. Cool. It's $2 billion stadium. $2 billion for a couple hundred million. Why don't I just throw the money into an incinerator instead? Because it's about the same.
but
Let me
I
just
mean,
do that.
even the tax on water and electric. I mean, just think how much water and electricity a stadium has, and you tax that, and I mean, I don't know. Listen, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax attorney. I am not an expert. I'm just saying, if there are some circumstances, especially in a small market, um, where that stadium is putting in a lot of jobs, revenue around the stadium, making sure the roads are good leading to and from the stadium. There's a conversation that I think is worthy of being had.
I
I
would
don't know.
love to see. I would love to see a legitimate accountant put together the numbers.
Yeah.
I bet you it would cost you less to fix the roads and just pay people to stand around. And you'd probably save money.
And that very well could be true. And I'm not gonna say I know different. It would be interesting to see somebody that's truly knowledgeable and have that information, to discuss that with. But anyways, I just don't see this happening in other places except California my entire life. I mean, the Raiders have moved more times than I think any other franchise in history.
You mean other than St. Louis?
Huh?
St. Louis, the LA Rams were in St. Louis.
I know. I
Yeah,
remember that was the greatest show on turf. But
yeah.
I'm talking the Raiders went from LA to Oakland, back to LA,
I
back to
get it, but
Oakland.
the Rams were in St. Louis. St. Louis is not in California, and
I
they
know.
moved to LA.
Yeah,
They moved them.
yeah. It's crazy what goes on over there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I don't. We'll have to see. I've never seen anyone successfully make the argument or put together the numbers. I would love to see that sheet. I would love to see it because the idea is always, well, it creates this business. It can. I agree with that. The bars and everything. It's like I totally agree with that. My question is, how much did it cost you to get that? How much money did you actually make in business around the building? Because they did this in Ottawa. They built the Ottawa centers are not in Ottawa. They're in Canada. Canada is outside of Ottawa. It's a suburb outside of
I
which
don't
had nothing in it.
I don't mean to interrupt you, and I know that you're from there, but it's pronounced Canada. It's so silly.
Yeah, I wish this is the faux Canada. They literally had to build a section of the highway to do an off ramp to get this thing where the arena was. They built stuff around it. But there's nothing there outside of this thing that they just built around it to build this arena. And I'm sitting there like, what? So you can keep the Ottawa Senators for all that's worth? Okay, great. You got the Ottawa Senators. Now what? Congratulations. Oh, but you got an arena in the middle of nowhere. You built some shit around it. Okay, well, the stuff around it exists. So what? What happens when that arena becomes decrepit in another 5 years? What are you going to do? Build another arena? Now it's no good. Well, what's wrong with it? Oh, it's old. Okay. Oh, well, you need another arena? You didn't even pay off this one yet.
I mean, I don't know how many really old ones are left, but you know,
That's part of my point, Eric, is
they're-
that the definition of old has changed. As
oh yeah,
the reason why you're not seeing a lot of these things is because as soon as the sports team says it's old, they just say we want a new one, and they're like, give us a new one or we leave. And every single time the municipality is like, here's more money, and like, from what? From where? For what? I call your bluff. Where are you moving it to? Right now it's Vegas. But guess what? You can only put so many teams in Vegas. Vegas isn't going to need 3 football teams and 5 baseball teams. At a certain point, it's like, okay, so where do you want to move it now? New Mexico? Where are you going? Where are you building the stadium?
well, you can always move to Arizona because you know, building a hockey stadium in Arizona is just an absolutely brilliant idea, and it's working out brilliantly.
Yeah, and they've got a state-of-the-art arena that has a makeshift locker room. It's very good. Couldn't be better.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're playing in a 5,000 seat college arena right now.
And they're not even selling that out. Wait until you build the next arena. It'll be great.
Yes, please move it to Quebec. Oh my God, or bring it back to Hartford. Bring the Whalers back. Do something. Get it the hell out of Arizona, please. Oh.
Yeah. And kind of your point, though, you're talking about your lifetime. The North Stars moved in your lifetime.
I can't.
Hartford gone. Quebec City gone.
I
The Canadian ones, you can argue the Canadian dollar, but guess what? They built another Winnipeg Jets anyway.
Right.
We got one now. So
I understood why Quebec left because Montreal was there.
Yeah.
I understand why Hartford left because the Bruins were here. When you're in literally driving distance from the other team, you know, that's tough because people only have so much money to spend.
Yeah.
But Minnesota is a hockey hotbed in the United States. You if you play hockey in this country back then, okay, you were either from Minnesota or the Northeast. Look at the 80 Olympic team. I honestly believe every single person on that 80 Olympic team was either from Minnesota or the Northeast. How in the world could you move a hockey team out of Minnesota and go put it in, you know, freaking Dallas?
and the Mighty Ducks movie is based out of Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't get it. I never understood that. I just shook my head. I was not a happy hockey fan when they were like, Minnesota's going to lose their team. You have got to be kidding me. Now, I'm glad they replaced it, but is anyone really a Wild fan? The Minnesota Wild. I mean, I'm glad they have hockey again, but the North Stars had a long tradition since 1968. I don't know. I can't get behind the Wild.
I just think it would have been funny if they had struck some kind of a deal to let them have the North Star name. I think it would have been very because the last year of Minnesota and the first year of Dallas was the same uniform. They just stuck shoulder patches on it. It's literally that's one of my favorite things about the transition because you can tell the difference between the last Minnesota and the first Dallas one. Is like they literally just stuck a couple of Texas shoulder patches on it. It's like, hey guys,
yeah,
it's totally different.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think they should have been the North Stars. You could have had the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota North Stars.
Yeah, they would have to strike a deal. That's basically what happened. Look, I make fun of it till the end of time. That's basically what happened to CFL. The Ottawa CFL franchise created this confusion because for the longest time you had the Saskatchewan Roughriders And you had the Ottawa Rough Riders. One of them has a space, and one of them does not have a space. That's the difference. So you got two teams called the Rough Riders,
That's
Rough Riders and Rough Riders. And then eventually they couldn't use the Rough Rider name anymore because they were folded away. And then they put another team in Ottawa, and it's like, all right, we're gonna call them the Renegades this time. Okay, fine. Again, Rough Riders, Renegades. They stick with the R. Fine, I get it. Second time it failed. By the way, the second time it failed is because they also gave it to the same ownership group. It was the same owner both times it failed. And by the way, the Ottawa Rough Riders, the original, the OG team, go back to the 1800s. They were over 100 years when they folded the first time. And then they folded the second time. Same owner both times. And then, so far, third time's the charm. They're the Ottawa Red Blacks are again. Come on. Red Blacks? Rouge. What is it? Sorry. Yeah, it's Rouge et Noir. Come on. Yes. So stupid, and I love it. Even from the article. Good evening, Paul. I confused the hell out of me as a teen. Absolutely. Hockey is strong in Florida with the Lightning and Panthers. Panthers less so, but Lightning, I agree. The Lightning have done a really good job building. The Lightning have built a legacy, if nothing else. So I think it's fair.
I'm a huge Lightning fan, except not for tonight because it's 6-1 in the third. But I always called the Lightning Bruin South because Phil Esposito started the franchise, and so since day one, I've been a Lightning fan. So, the fact that they've won some Stanley Cups and they're my second favorite team, the hockey season has been fun, a couple of times, even though the Bruins were out. But the Panthers. The
Panthers had their one Stanley Cup run. Outside of that, they just kind of exist.
Yeah, and that was incredible with all the rats and and Van Breesbrook and net, and it was awesome. But they've never recaptured that magic. I mean, they won the President's Trophy last year and lost it in the second round of the playoffs. They've never recaptured the magic.
Yep. If at first you don't succeed, give them a CFL franchise. Facts. Like I said, guys, third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Tampa has enough snowbirds that will go and just watch a hockey. Well, that's the problem, though. They always use the snowbirds thing. Now, fortunately, the Lightning have actually had sustained success. Like right now, the Lightning are a little mini dynasty we got going on right now. Until further notice, they're still defending champs. Sorry, no, Colorado won last time, but they had won two. I think they had won two in a row
last year.
Yeah,
3 years in a row they were in the finals.
Yeah, so right there, that's strong. Like that's super strong, extremely impressive. So still mini dynasty. Like by today's standard, that is a mini dynasty being consistently right there with the opportunity to win. It is very hard to do. And they're in the playoffs again. And right now they have Toronto. First round bye. Until further notice.
Not tonight.
Toronto has won plenty of single games in series. Again, it's been a very long time since they won a series. A series requires 4 wins, not 1. 4, not 1. I don't care if they win 147-1 tonight. They could still lose 3 in a row. They're perfectly capable of that.
That is true. But I hope so, because I'm rooting for the Lightning, of course, but they're just kicking ass and taking names tonight.
Oh, there you go. That's going to be their big rebound. So Steve Dangle will be very excited tonight. I remember like it was yesterday when the Panthers were coming in with the Disney-style Mighty Ducks. True.
I've never been a Mighty Ducks fan. I always thought that was just ridiculous, especially the uniforms in the beginning. All those things are so bad.
That's from the card. That's from the movie.
Yeah, and they sucked.
Lightning orders the best in hockey. Wish you would buy the race. There you go. I like it. Fair enough, Michael Ham. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, folks. So we'll stick around for let's say another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll call it a night. It'll be a little bit shorter. So if there's anything you guys want to chat about, you let me know. I'm going to get a little quick refill. Eric, just out of curiosity, has anything come in the mail? Did you by any chance get the package I sent yet or no?
I have not received that yet.
So far I've checked in with some folks, so the mail is coming in. So that's fine. You let me know.
Yeah.
But I was just curious if it had come in yet, but we'll see how that goes.
Picked up a couple things came in the mail today. I'm a little disappointed in this.
Okay. Do you want to share it for a minute while I get a quick refill?
Yeah. So
Sure.
I'm a little disappointed in this. I couldn't see in the picture on eBay the crease at the bottom. And I knew it was a little banged up on the corners, but the centering was really good. But I wasn't aware of the crease, and it's a Bobby Nystrom rookie card. The centering is really, really good with dull corners. So I said, all right, that's fine. That's, you know, I can handle that. And then there's a crease down here, which that kind of bothered me when I got it. And which, to no one's surprise, if you can see on my wall, my favorite player of all time is Reggie Lemlin. He was a goalie for the Atlanta Flames, the Calgary Flames, and the Boston Bruins. And I got this Panini card from 2011. It's number 9 out of 50 with a dual autograph of Reggie Lemlin and Dan Bouchard, which I think was pretty cool. Bouchard has got the Atlanta Flames logo. Reggie up top's got the Calgary Flames logo, and there's pictures on the back too. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to have a dual auto of those guys, and it's on card, so that's even cooler. And if you know anything about Dan Bouchard, he's he found Jesus and is a Christian, so he always signs his autographs with the PS 139, Psalm 139, and a smiley face inside the D. So that's a pretty common autograph for Dan Bouchard.
Good
So
times.
those are the two that came in today. Again, I'm a little disappointed in the Nystrom. I didn't notice that there was a crease. I probably wouldn't have purchased it. And I am surprised how much Bob Nystrom rookie cards cost. They're actually a little more expensive than I would have guessed. And it's hard to find good copies. And if you find a good copy, you're going to pay a few bucks for it.
Fair
so
enough.
I thought I found one that I could, I'm like, oh, that's not bad. The corner's a ding, but everything else is good. And it's got a crease.
Gotcha.
O'Reilly's in the same year. Same set. This one's autographed. Oh.
Gotcha. All right.
But same year. Nystrom and O'Reilly.
There you go. Paul says, are you live streaming tomorrow? I am not. So this is the bonus stream for this week to keep the streak going. Been good at keeping the streak. Like it's been a while. Like can I like I guess remind, but also at the same time kind of remind myself. Do you know how long it's been where there's been at least one live stream every week? Do you know offhand?
No, I mean I don't remember since I've been involved in this and watching you a couple of years back. I mean, you were doing 2 shows a week.
Yeah, but my qualifier is at least one weekly stream, because obviously the very first couple were sporadic. It would, and there would be weeks where there would be the 2. I'm just quickly going back because I want to fact check this.
I would say you haven't missed a show in 2.5 years or more.
Yeah,
that would be my guess.
October 19th, 2020 was a live stream, and after that it was at least one per week since October 2020.
Yep. Yeah, that's what yeah.
About right. So that's, a lot. It's a lot of weeks. Going back, we're in 2023. We're in April of 2023.
And I think I started watching you, I think, in April of 2019. I think that's when you remember the story about how I was in bed for a month because I hurt my back, mountain biking, of course. And I had nothing else to do. So I was sitting there with my computer and I started looking up sports card videos and stuff on YouTube. And I found a whole bunch of different shows, and yours was one of them. And, and as I've told the story before, the first 1 or 2 times I watched the show, I was like, no, I don't think this guy's for me. And, but Bobby was on, so I stuck around and gave it some more more views, and you grew on me like a mold.
It's what we do. Stockholm.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
So it is 913 days between the first and the current and today.
Yeah, I don't think you've missed any time since I started watching back in 2019.
30 months in one day. That is 2.5 years.
Yeah,
2.5 years. I figured it was close to a number like that. That's why the fact that it's the 20th and there was the 19th is the first one. It's like, yep, 2.5 years of this shit. Didn't miss a week. Take that, floating head bastard, and the rest of y'all.
what does that have to do with it?
Hey, he's the one who's asked for 57,000 sponsors, and he can't even be on every week. Like a peasant.
All right.
All we got is crumble cookies. That's all we got. Opposite of Ricky Williams' autumn. 180 weeks, I wish. I fished every day for 2017 straight days. What happened on day 2018, Michael Ham? What happened on day 2018?
I think you have an addiction, by the way.
He's got a fever, and the only solution is more fish. First time I watched Dakota, he was doing his anti-PSA video when they shut down. I'm like, F this guy. In fairness, Paul, you're still F this guy. Like, arguably, like, I've been on the Discord, Paul. Are you sure you're not still F this guy?
I'm still F this guy when it comes to you, so nothing's really changed since
I was going to say. But at least you earn your keep now. Now we make you earn your keep a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like you earn the privilege of being mocked.
Oh, yeah. I used to just get mocked in the chat.
It changes the game. 2.5 years of this shit. That I had for some reason, like that wasn't. I didn't actually know ahead of time. But I suspected, and like in the back of my head, I'm like, I feel like it's been some very even number. I had the sense, and I was like, yeah, almost exactly. Wow. Okay, fair enough. Wow. I woke up and forgot. I didn't go fishing on day one after the streak. Oh, that's a disgraceful way of breaking a streak. 2,000 plus days. I woke up and forgot. Come on, Michael Ham.
How do you forget to go fishing after you did it for 2,000 days straight?
That's rough, man. He has some crap football takes. Yeah, fair. It's true. But yeah, two and a half years. That's the reason why I was so intent on, like, I just had no faith that I'd be able to figure out a way to schedule for tomorrow. So I kind of I said to Eric, it's like, all right, I'm thinking either tonight or Sunday, and those were kind of the only two that made sense to me. But if we time it out, I think because I think they're doing every other day, so I think it would be Dallas and Boston on Sunday, right?
I would think so.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a different thing. So I was like, yeah, I figured tonight would make sense just because we're in between. We're in the in between. Yeah, there's that's part of the reason why I wasn't too worried about tonight. I figured, all right, well, all the folks that are in Canada are probably watching the Leafs game or one of the other games tonight, and then some of them are probably at Expo. So it's like, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. This week was going to be quieter no matter what. Aside from it, so it's fair enough. Eric's allowed to mock the chat when he buys a kiss. Some select. You gotta add some syllables in there. Rookie. Michael Ham says, I won the sweet card on Floating Head stream the other day. There you go. It's a little more to the story. There's a little more to the story of the fishing streak. Fair enough.
Yeah, I called him out on it too. I told him the fix was in.
Good evening, Baz. Have a good one. Take it easy. Yep. Enjoy the minor bike as always. No seat. Facts. I've been hearing about these. I think I want to say Case Hits Reed. He does a lot of the Robertson cards and other Dallas Star cards, and he won one of the giveaways. Okay, so for the record, Eric, this isn't from me. This was from one of the viewers, and one of the viewers, and I will not name them. You know, I will give them their anonymity. But I got this message on Instagram, out of the blue. Yeah. I got a message on Instagram, and I want to quote this properly because it just made me chuckle when I got it. Okay. And again, I did not write this. I did not ask about it. Message I get this on Tuesday. Okay. When are you going to have an anniversary episode when all your hobby buddies drop in to praise you? In reference to something.
Yep.
So that's the question, I guess. I will give you my answer that I gave. I considered it, but then when the channel logo already is being named after me, I thought of the additional arrogant self-indulgence was redundant. Well, it might be too much. Might be a little too much.
Yeah, I think you're arrogant enough. I don't think you need.
But in fairness, I'm not quite at 3 years consecutive. So maybe when I get to 3 years consecutive, like 3 years, I might understand is like a specific anniversary that you do these things on. So
Mhm.
maybe at 3 years consecutive, maybe I'll just have a live stream that's just titled "Praise Me."
I'm busy that day.
Oh no, you're not. Don't worry. I'll speak to Kathy. I'll make sure she clears your calendar, whatever you got going on, because you might need to start writing something.
Oh, yeah.
Remember to write it from the heart, as per the notes I'll drop you.
Okay.
Praise me.
Praise me. Yep.
It'll be fine as long as I do some giveaways. Everyone will. It'll be completely legit. As long as I do some giveaways.
I thought it. Not surprisingly, had a little bit different take on it.
I didn't make that message. I
Yeah.
just responded to what was going.
I'm just responding to the letter or whatever you received. I had a different take. I think.
No kidding.
Yeah. I thought it was a fine evening with lots of hobby people and people in the chat, and our dear friend Bobby Burrell was a special guest for a moment or two, and some other people that we know.
We're there to give praise, of course.
And it was a fun evening with lots of fun giveaways. And Michael Ham somehow cheated and somehow walked away with some free stuff.
But did anyone get an XY autograph?
We should give that away.
If it wasn't out of 5, I would.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, it's actually out of 5. Yeah. By the way, just real quick. I did those 2 videos where I opened those WWE blasters, right? I did those 2 where I opened the two sets of blasters. I pulled one of the cards that I showed on the Instagram that I did whatever, and I thought, oh, this is a cool card, whatever. Do you know what the odds were of pulling that card out of that blaster?
No.
1 in 1,600 packs.
Wow.
I was like, how come whenever I pull random shit that I don't know what it is, that's the one is like, oh man, you're like 1 in 2,000 packs, 1 in 1,600. When I actually used to open stuff, trying to pull stuff, I pull nothing. Like literally nothing.
Right.
Like this isn't out of 5. I don't even know what is the odds in this shit? I don't even know.
No, we were going for Timmy 2 hat, so we ended up with XY.
Yeah, but we got good old XY, man. Come on. Got XY autograph, I don't even know. What are the odds on this shit?
But what would have brought us more joy?
Would have brought us more joy is Geoff. And maybe it could have been inscribed, Pokemon sucks. And that would have been at least a fun inscription. That would have been kind of fun.
I bet if we get the randomizer out and somebody wins the XY card and you mail it to them, I have a feeling they'll just hit return to sender and mail it back. And just be like, no, thank you.
Trust me, if I fix it properly and Neo gets it, he'll be like, he will praise me.
Okay, whatever you say.
Trust me. Luca Nation dissolves. He's a Cleveland fan, man. Neo is Northeast Ohio. He's literally the Cleveland guy. Somebody has to be the Cleveland guy. Luca Nation dissolved. Thoughts on that? So I did hear about this. I don't know what the backstory is, and I'd be curious, Tom, if any of you guys heard about it. So real quick. So Eric, do you know what he's referring to when he's talking about Luca Nation?
I've heard the name many times, but it's not something that ever interested me to go and investigate.
Okay, let me give the quick Cole's Notes version. We'll age yourselves appropriately. We'll give the Cole's Notes version. Okay, so back in the pandemic period, amongst 1,018 other podcasts and things that were created, one of them was Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze. That was started by Cage Lawyer and Andrew Goldberg, who were part of a Gary V group chat, of course. So they decided to start a podcast. And in the podcast, what they did is in the podcast, they actually started their gimmick was that they would do these podcasts talking about all this stuff, but they did one every day. And probably for the course of like 2 years and change, they would do a podcast every day, whether the content warranted it or not. Just to be clear on that. Some of those episodes were like garbage.
How does one do a podcast every day unless you're making money?
For a long time, they weren't. But what happened eventually was that eventually they started getting sponsors. It goes back to kind of what I talked about before. Eventually, you start getting sponsorships.
Like Crumble Cookie.
Holy crap! Hold on. Okay. All right. I know what the odds are on this 5 out of 5 XY.
It is what?
It is it is the red out of 5 variant, so it's a red, obviously. You know, I can tell.
Mhm,
Okay.
sure.
So the odds of pulling a red out of 5 are 1 in 9,911 packs. Over 1 in 9,000 packs to pull this.
That's fantastic.
I have never been, I don't even know who this is, and gotten tougher odds.
The only person that knows who that is his mother.
That's okay. As long as she pays by PayPal, it'll be fine. So anyway, so they do the Lucas, Tigers, and Braun thing, 1 episode per day. I'm just perplexed by the fact that some of the greatest pulls of my life, statistically, are from random shit I just bought the last couple months. How come whenever I buy like a sweet product where it's like, hey, 1 in 9,000 packs, you get like this Gretzky auto patch thing, whatever, or this Connor McDavid XYZ, and you can buy a house with it.
Right.
Instead, I get XY. It's like,
Yeah.
can I trade this in for another 1 in 9,000 pull on a different product? Like, there's some products where 1 in 9,000 pull would be amazing.
Oh yes.
I feel like I'm wasting some golden tickets here. These bullets are being wasted. It's like these bullets are being wasted on the wrong thing here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not shooting blanks, but I'm not hitting my target clearly. So anyway, so they do a daily podcast, whatever. For whatever reason, the Mint Collective was like the last couple of episodes, was right around the time of their last episode, and then they went quiet for a bit, and now all of a sudden Cage Lawyer is back on, and it's no longer Nuka Nation. Now it's like Cage, so it's just him, and I don't actually know what happened there. So that's kind of laying here. I seen Cage on the new YouTube channel. The thing is, it's the same YouTube channel. It's not a different one. It's the same one, but they renamed it. So I was like, so I know something happened. I don't know if it's a fallout or whatever, but it's like, I don't know what actually happened. But I'm curious. Like, I started hearing some rumblings about it, but it's like, I have no idea. I have no idea what the deal is, because they had an NFT thing going on and a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe it was a business falling out. Maybe they had some kind of an issue.
NFTs. I mean, you're set for life.
Yep. So I don't know. Cage is the one who's still around. He can probably answer that question better than I can. If you give the XY away, Carlos has to sign it. I might have to. It adds something. It's like my inscription is going to be like, I beat the odds for this shit. The other one was 1 in 1,600, and I just beat it with 1 in 9,900. Almost 10,000. Wait, so this is almost 10,000 packs, and I couldn't get it to 2 hits? Freaking Geoff. Oh, man. All right. I won 3 free SGC subs with Luca Nation. I wasn't sure if I could trust them, but sub them with no issues. I was trying to catch Fanatic's eyes and do the Gary V style. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, but I totally was a amazing pull statistically. Statistically, amazing pull. Wouldn't have been my first choice for 1 in 9,900 packs, but yeah. Good old Xavier Curry, XY, Cleveland Guardians. Yep. I know Andrew Goldberg moved down to Florida to be a group submitter for SGC through Luca. Thus, the free sub giveaways probably more trouble than profit on Goldberg's end. He was always a bit. I'll be honest. Like, this isn't meant to be like a slight on him. I always felt like Goldberg was a little bit flaky, because he always was all over the place, and it's like, whereas Cage, he's a lawyer by trade. He is a professional for whatever that's worth. So he had a more of a stable kind of, like, he's got his family, he's doing his thing, and this is part of what he's doing. But Goldberg would be like, because there were stretches of times where he'd do the podcast from Mexico, and then he'd go do it from a different location. So he was kind of a social media nomad. He'd just do it from here and then do it from there. And then it didn't seem like it was ever clear what the hell he's doing or what he wants to do or whatever's going on. So I was like, all right, fair enough, I guess. I don't know. So maybe that was part of it too. Maybe the two guys had 2 different goals, because it seemed to me like they were basically building a business effectively. But if you got 2 different goals, it's going to be really tough to maintain a business. That's just speculation on my part.
Is there enough, and I'm being serious, and I know that we have friends that do this, and maybe I can ask them privately, is there enough money to live on to pick up and move like far away. So, say if I picked up and moved to California just to be a group submitter, I don't know. I don't know the facts. I don't know these people. I'm only reading that comment.
Well, the thing though is, if it's SGC, it's Florida. It's not California.
So, but whatever. I don't know.
No, but Florida is a very different cost of living compared to California. The reason I'm making emphasis on this is that Florida is a very different cost of living discussion versus California.
But I don't know if your only job is to be a group submitter for SGC. I don't know how you live off that, but maybe hopefully there's more involved.
But the thing is, they made some money on the NFT thing. They've done they did have they literally have had 3 different groups of sponsorships. They've had more, for sure, but at one point they were a sponsor for SGC, HGA, and then they were a sponsor for SGC for a little bit, and then their last one was your employer Beckett.
Oh well, if they're in Beckett, you can't go. Yo, that's big money.
Big spender. Big money. Woo.
They have. I mean, Beckett has so much money. They can make giant slabs for one time only. They can make another giant slab with numbers all engraved in it, and then just throw something on top of the numbers and cover those right up. I mean, they got money to burn over there.
What I'm saying.
To burn.
Big dollars.
And Ham, I swear to God, if you had won that, I would have thrown my computer through the window that is in front of me.
Oh, that's true. They did have a cup tent that thing, didn't they?
I would have.
So what you're saying is, in addition
right out the window.
So what you're saying, so Eric, going back to our thought about Praise Me. So what you're saying is that at the 3-year thing, not only should I make it a Praise Me fest, I just need to do bribes, is what you're saying. I just need to give away enough random shit, and then you will all praise me with a smile on your face and a song in your heart. If I give away a couple of cup tins, I know a guy. I know a guy who will open up cup tins on whim.
I have a different way of viewing all of this than you. But Toronto is now up 7-2.
It's just because you happen to have a front row seat. Anytime you want, you snap your fingers, you can have a coaster, put it right into your hand. Snap your fingers, boom. A gloved hand will come off screen, and all of a sudden you're like, hit me. A gloved hand will just drop it off. Done. Coaster time.
I hope that company is successful. I like the idea behind it, and I like the way it looks. So
you admit they have coasters. Lots of monies. True.
Money, 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 money.
There's a man who embodies this. Fan of the channel. You know what it is, don't you? He might have been involved in the 3-year Praise Me anniversary. Because someone has to fund it. Eric, do you think he's involved?
You think, well, the only person... The only person I know who's addicted to money would be Baubles.
Addicted to money, yes. I knew I should have watched that stream when I seen that giveaway thumbnail. I like the stream. Also really wanted to win the 5-card coaster giveaway. Thank you, my friend. You could win 5 card coasters.
I didn't care if he won that. If he won the tin, I was throwing the computer through the window.
Why not both? Were you limited to just winning one? Couldn't you win multiple?
There was also another enemy of mine that was also vying for these prizes.
Why would Michael Ham be your enemy? What do you have against Michael Ham? Is it because he broke the fishing streak? Are you mad about the fishing streak?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. And I think it was just sheer laziness. He could have got to 3,000 and taken a break if he wanted. But come on.
I think the lack of an uneven number makes me sad.
Yeah.
2017 feels bad. It feels bad, man.
It's just embarrassing.
Hashtag feels bad, man.
I don't really want to be associated with him anymore. I'm kind of just disgusted.
Oh, because the people you associate yourself with are really highfalutin.
Oh, no, they suck too. Most of
the the coaster maker floating heads suck.
Yeah,
Go on. Tell us more.
Everybody I know and associate with suck. Yes, everybody.
Wow.
So, I don't know where I was going. I think
I'm hoping you keep slandering Floating Head indirectly. Go on.
I'm not slandering.
You said he sucks.
Oh,
Everyone
so
you associate with sucks.
on that stream was another enemy of mine that was not only vying for these prizes, but texting me and slandering me on the side.
Hmm.
And his name will go unmentioned because I don't want to give this person any publicity.
Listen, I actually was going to stop the stream about 10 minutes ago, but I'll be honest, I refilled it and I've kind of enjoyed the slander. So, I'm here for that.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to mention any names, but I just was praying that that person was not going to win anything, and he didn't. But Mike did.
I see. Michael Ham says, Carlos, you're missing a valuable selling point. We sell full copies of graded cards and slabs called graded coasters. I want an MJ Records insert. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. I like it. Respect. Listen, I would never knock, like I said, my feelings of Floating Head are well known. And I have good reasons. Eric's reasons for being friend of him are garbage. And not only garbage, they're garbage.
The garbage.
That's right, garbage. Because Floating Head is trash. But nonetheless, despite this, and despite his bribery, shameless bribery, and his begging for praise me. Like I can do that shit. Like that's unnecessary. I already got my name on my channel. I don't need the rest of that. It would be fun, but I don't need it. I could give away coasters too, by the way. I could literally get coasters. I could get coasters made. Don't worry about that. I got coasters. Eric, what food did your mom slide on your door today? Yay, baby Ralph for me. There you go.
Well, let me tell you about her. I'm a little upset with her. All right, and I haven't talked to her all day because I'm really upset about last night. Now, obviously, the Bruins played absolutely horribly and deserved to lose. It was the worst hockey game in the history of the league. And
a Bruins game would be the worst game in the history of the league. Go on.
And I was not feeling good. I was very sad. I was angry. I had a lot of emotions.
You being angry is totally rare. Never happens.
And she offered to make me some cookies. Okay.
Did she actually offer to make me some cookies,
Yes.
or like grumble in your general direction?
She offered to make me cookies. She knew I was in a bad place, and she thought making me some cookies would make me feel better. And that is true. So she gets up and she
could have just ordered crumble. By the way, Crumble, I'll be reaching out. We can do a sponsorship thing. It'd be amazing.
And she starts making the cookies. Now, she's going to have one of the cookies.
By the way, for the record, what kind of cookies are we talking about?
We're talking chocolate chip.
All right. Classic.
Yeah.
All right.
Chocolate
Go
chip,
on.
Okay. I requested 7 of the cookies. That's what I thought would make me feel better, get me through this horrible game that I was being forced to watch, like an episode of Clockwork Orange. And she told me,
You're invoking Clockwork Orange?
That's what I felt.
Stanley, this is Stanley. You bring Stanley Kubrick into this? Dang.
That's what I felt like, being forced to watch that trash last night. And she only allowed me to have 5 of the cookies when I specifically asked for 7.
For the record, this seems suspicious only because I would note that you have 5 fingers on one hand. So are you sure that there were not, in fact, 7 and you just didn't know how to count? Because you have to go beyond the first
She
hand.
She specifically said I could only have 5 because they were big cookies. They weren't big cookies.
She's trying to say you're fat. Go on.
No, and I had just come back from a 7-mile mountain bike ride, so I earned the damn cookies, and I wanted 7 cookies. It was gonna make me feel better about that trash of a game, and she only allowed me to have 5, and I haven't talked to her all day long.
Can I point out, and again, this isn't meant to be shade because frankly, I could afford to lose a few pounds. It doesn't show. How many miles did you say you went?
7.25.
Have you considered maybe going 10.25 or 17.25 or 147.25?
I've done all those, but
Mm.
this is, of course, through real trails with rocks and roots and hills and things. This isn't like a flat road.
Have you
So
considered walking to California and back by the end of the day?
I'm going to snap you in half when I see you next.
I've seen your athletic ability. I am not concerned. Go on.
I hate this stupid show. I don't get cookies. I come on here. I get berated.
And deservedly so. Really, there's a lot to berate you on. Like, there's a lot of material.
All I know is that the woman owes me 2 cookies, and I better get them.
CC, good evening. You should both be at the expo today. Tomorrow, sir. Tomorrow I shall be at the expo. While I will not be doing a live stream for reasons that I've already outlined. However, I will do my best to at least capture some images, take a little bit. I'll try to do a couple of videos that I'll upload to the channel. I'll do my best in between. And check out the Instagram. Follow the Instagram. I'll try to take some pictures and stuff as I go along. And that way, at least I can cover some of that. Also, I will try to, I got the camera stuff with me. So I'll make sure that's all charged up and ready to go. And I'll make sure that happens. So that's what will happen. That's what will go. And I appreciate that Kathy's responded. So I want to get to that comment. Eric, I'd be happy to know that Beckett's booth had the longest lineups today at the expo, no joke. Now, to be fair, were the lineups to use the product? Or was the lineups to be like, what the fuck are you idiots thinking? Like, what is wrong with you? Explain yourself. I don't understand.
You know how, like, when a building is on fire, people come out of their homes and gather around it and watch this tragedy happen in real time? Are you sure that's not what was happening? That people gravitated over to Beckett, the burning building, to watch this tragedy unfold?
Well, speaking of tragedies, can you count to 0? Because that's what you're getting next game.
Come on. That's not fair.
Stats of stat, cut a freaking promo. I don't think Eric can handle a promo. Maybe if he had gotten his other 2 cookies, but as it is, he struggles. He talks about snapping things. I don't know, man. The only thing that's going to snap is his hip. Like, there's a lot of broken things going on over there. Again, Eric talks a big game, but he tries to say things about name. Name is unmoved by his words. He tries to say things to me. Psh, I literally spend every show making fun of him. What do you think I'm worried about him? Ha! He tries to pick a fight with Yannick. Yannick will kick his ass. He kick his ass so hard. It's going to be unbelievable. Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home in something. Thank you, Paul. That was inspirational.
I believe there's a prom queen involved in that one.
Facts. So, folks, tell you what. A couple more minutes and we'll log it off. 2.5 hours, gish, give or take. I think it's pretty good. Pretty good for an extra impromptu episode. So, it's been fun. Enjoyed it. I even enjoyed opening the box and wasting my perfectly good mojo on XY. I'm never probably going to have a pull this good ever again. And this is what I get.
We need to refer to him as the legend XY from now on, please. Like the great one, Wayne Gretzky.
I'm taking a picture, but to be clear, I'm taking a picture of this shit and putting it on Instagram. I need to document the best pull I will ever get. And it was wasted on this. This is so disappointing. Cleveland baseball is full of disappointment. And this may be the high watermark of disappointment in the baseball card realm of Cleveland baseball. I just beat the odds. I killed it. And this is what I get for it? And I didn't even realize how screwed and royally fucked I am until just now. It's terrible.
That's pretty bad.
I didn't even realize that it's like, by the way, Carlos, you're probably never going to pull anything this good ever again, statistically. Card-wise, maybe. But statistically, no. You will never beat the odds like this ever again. On a random hobby box? Nope. And that's what you're getting.
You got the magic genie lamp and you rubbed it, and the genie came out and said, I'll give you one wish. And he said, I finally want a rare pull from a hobby box. And he went, granted. You should have been clearer.
You know what's funny? I actually don't think I've ever pulled a card out of 5 or better. I've never pulled a 1 of 1. So actually, that might be the rarest card I've ever pulled. Not only statistically, but actually mathematically. Kind of. That's really, again, Cleveland and disappointment really do go hand in hand. And like, we got there again.
Well, why don't you do the other 4 cards a favor and tear that one in half and throw it away?
I thought about it, but I'm sure I can get like $150. I'm taking my $150. We will find out in the eBays. I will take my $150. I need it. I hate to say it, the lines of BGS were for service. Raw grade review. Oh, raw grade review, I can believe that. Online slabbing, though, it's like 100. Well, okay. If you're saying, because they have on-site grading. On-site grading is really expensive. The on-site grading for them is really expensive. The raw card review, I could see that. But you're saying on-site slabbing, so I feel like the majority of that's got to be raw card review, because I'm like, dude, it's $150 a card. What are you submitting for $150 a card?
If people are buying, mantle rookies or some.
I'm not putting a mantle in a BGS slab or BVG slab at this point.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense is that you buy something really expensive, you go get it slabs, you can turn around and sell it right away again. Now, why you gotta be?
Orlando speaks truth.
The Bruins lose badly. I don't get 7 cookies, and now people are
and your mom tells you you're fat.
My mom did not tell me I'm fat.
That's why she didn't give you 7 cookies. She said 5 is enough. You fat
7
bastard.
cookies because she's mean. That's
If you say
different.
so. If you say so. Hockey Argonaut says RP Lucas Tigers and Browns. Apparently, allegedly, it seems so. Good night, Jeff. Have yourself a good one. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'll report back my findings. But yes, on that tragic bombshell, we've had ourselves quite the evening tonight. Y'all got to watch me pull the greatest pull of my life statistically. Not in terms of actual what I got out of it. This is kind of lame. I don't think it's dethroned. My Kramer's Choice Peter Forsberg back in the late 90s. It has not dethroned it. The Peter Forsberg was 1 in 721 packs. It was a really tough pull. This was more than a 10 times tougher pull. Not quite as good.
No.
Not so much. Not so much. Thank you, Hockey Argonaut. Thank you. All right, folks. So a pleasure hanging out and chatting with you as always. I will have some kind of videos up on the channel pertaining to Expo. I'll chat with some folks and we'll hopefully be able to put some content together for that. So that'll be good. And that'll be the rest of this week. And then next week, back to the regular schedule. We'll have the Friday. We'll have all that going on. So that'll be good. And then next week, the Golden Touch.
Oh my God.
I'm ready. Are you all ready? I'm ready.
Oh my goodness.
I'm getting very excited. So I'm just saying, I'm very excited about this. They see it, Mr. Starting Live, so yes, I can. All right. So this is an opening act autograph from 2023 Topps Big League of Xavier Curry, the Xavier Curry, affectionately known as XY to his friends.
XY, baby.
A red variant out of 5. There it is. Check it out, my man. Look at it. 1 in 9,911 packs for whatever the hell this is.
Yeah, or whoever the hell he is.
Yeah. Sticker auto for life, bro. Thank you, Michael. Eric keeping Eric. Fire emoji. Much love. Stay safe and enjoy cardboard. Thank you, sir. Can we group watch it? I wish. The Netflix would probably have a thing of that. Enjoy the expo. Thank you, Stu. All right, folks. Thank you very much for hanging out. We appreciate you. On your way out, if you can hit the like button, always appreciate that. We'll be back next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, usual time. And I'll figure out what the Golden Touch situation is with the timing and dating, but it's going to be very exciting.
All seriousness, enjoyed the show. I wish I could be there. I'm definitely missing hanging out with the gang and seeing everybody. My plan is to be there in November, but I'm looking forward to seeing, whatever videos and pictures and stuff you send or post, and tell everybody that would care that I said hello, and just have fun. I hope you find something good.
Indeed. Warm sentiments. Much love. So thank you all. Appreciate you all for hanging out. Enjoy, for those of you who are watching, enjoy the rest of the hockey playoffs. I'll be checking it out. Like I said, we're not doing the live stream tomorrow night, but I'm going to be watching the games myself. Like I said, I don't get into it quite as much, but when we get to playoff time, we start paying a lot closer attention. I'm sure several of you have started to do that. And some of the folks will check out the replay. They're probably watching the games right now as we speak. So enjoy the rest of your games. Have fun. And then we'll enjoy. I will include a link to the Opossum channel. The name escapes me fully, but I'll include a link to it. He gives a pretty good takedown of good old Geoff. Again, we'll come back to that later. I feel like there's more to the story, but I don't know what it is. But we'll find out what that is. But that's for later. We're not going to worry about that now. Let's enjoy our Expo weekend, enjoy our hockey stuff and going on, and then we'll figure that out in the weeks. We got time. And then we got the Golden Touch, man. We got the Golden Touch starting next week. Come on. We'll be good. Oposseum Bud, thank you. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. That's right. Oposseum Bud. Enjoy Oposseum Bud taking down good old Geoff. And then that'll tide us over until we get to the Golden Touch. It'll be good. We'll love it. Have yourselves a good one. We'll catch you next time.
Go Bees!